All right. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties for being late, but you are about to enter the world of sight, sound, and bodies tonight. So let's get it on Dirt Road Bigfoot. Coming up. Hey, good evening, everybody. It's another late night edition, coast to coast with Icebox. That's right, Douglas. How you doing tonight, buddy? BFG, FFG, Bigfoot, Florida guy. That's my boy Richard down there in Florida. There's my other buddy over on the football side. There's Mr. Spencer and Mr. Alabama Tide. Glad to see you guys. Brian Barber. Glad to see you, brother. Glad to see you. All right, let's see here. Who else is in here that I might have missed over? Mr. Curtis, how you doing tonight, brother? We'll get back with you on your text message earlier. So let me see. That's everybody that's chatted here lately. All right. And of course, there's Miss Blue Eyed Northern. And as you might guess, I don't know. We'll figure it out here in just a minute. All right. Guys, we have got a wonderful show. There may be some technical difficulties. So try to work with me because we have a lot going on tonight. Okay. So just be just be patient with me. Okay. All right. Here we go. My first up, my little co-host for tonight is none other, and you've met him, and we all love him. But here he is, Mr. Flatrock. Hey, bud, how are you doing tonight?
How's it going, Josh Box? How y'all
Doing
doing
great.
out there?
Hey, after we get with a guest tonight, I finally got a way to play that audio that you sent me.
hmm
Oh man, if this don't put chills up and down your spine, I don't know what will.
Yeah, when you
But
listen to it live, it tears you up.
so I let my wife hear that thing, and she was listening, and she was just sitting there. What am I listening to? And I told her, and by the time it hit that 1.5 minute mark, and it done what it done, and she backed up like, "What was that?" I said, "So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna spoil the movie." Okay, so if you want to hear that, make sure you stay to the end of the show. All right, Flat Rock. I asked you a long time ago, I say a long time ago, about a week or so ago, and it just out of the blue that I wanted to get some people on here, and I know you knew them, so
hmm
I was wondering if you could help me hook up, which you did,
Yep.
and I got to talk to them, and these people are just wonderful, and I know
Hey,
they're very.
these four are some of the best, that
Mm-hmm.
that's around. I mean, they're 100% honest. They're straightforward. They don't got Bigfoot on the brain. I bring them over here every year. We have fun, eat good food. You can't ask for nothing better in the woods.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, Flat Rock. I've talked to them over the phone. Man, it was such a joy. I basically had to say, man, I've got to go. I got to get in the bed because it was such a wonderful conversation with all of them. It was just so hard to get away because I didn't want to, but I had to
Yep,
go to work. You know what I
yep,
mean? So,
yep.
but they're great people. I done fell in love with them already. 5 star. That is my buddy Van. All right, Van, call me and let's have just a little chat, man. I'd love to talk to you again. Just cause so give me a call sometime tomorrow or whenever you get a chance. But give me a call. All right, let's get the first guest on. All right, I have been wanting this interview for a long time, and I finally got around to it. This is one of Flatrock's best friends, I guess you'd say.
Yep.
Okay, where that? There they are. So let's bring them on here. Everybody, meet Bud and Angie. All right, I am going to go down here, and I'm going to bring them up like this. There we are. How are y'all doing tonight?
Great. Good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Yes, sir. We can. We can work with y'all pretty good. All right, we're gonna gotta get started because, like I said, it's gonna be a long show, folks. It's gonna be a long one. But these guys, there's a reason we got these on first because it all ties into everything later. Okay. But first off, we want to meet Miss Angie. Miss Angie, I've already talked to Bud
Yes.
a little bit, and he's a great guy. I can't wait to hear some of the stuff that he's got. I hope he repeats it. But anyways, I want to know more about you. And from what I'm understanding, when you married Bud, you wasn't much of an outdoor person. Is that right?
No, I was raised, my dad's a retired military, so grew up on military bases, and they're not out in the woods at all. We was between Fort Knox, Kentucky, and Germany every 3 years. So I did never got to experience the whole hunting and camping and going out and all the fun things that I've been with Bud. So it's been an adventure for sure.
Hey, he's kind of told me what happened the first deer hunt. You want to tell me about that?
The first deer hunt. Oh, the one when I dropped it, you mean?
No, when I took him.
Oh, when he first took me deer hunting, he told me that now we could be out here for hours and never see anything, and it's going to be boring and quiet. You got to be quiet and everything. And we weren't there. Half hour, 45 minutes, and here came the deer. Just start coming out, lining right up for him. So I was like, "What are you talking about? This is great."
Yeah, what I
That
figured,
sounds so fun. Go ahead.
I'd get her out there in 20-degree weather for 4 hours. Ain't doing this crap no more, and it backfired on me.
Yep.
So,
That's what's so funny. I would have done the same thing. I would have done the same thing. George Lambert, hey bud, how you doing? Gandalf, that's my guy up there in Ohio. I'm glad to see you, brother. So how did he get you into Bigfoot?
Well, when I met him and stuff, he had told me about he said, "Well, I believe in Bigfoot, and I'm gonna go Bigfoot hunting." And I laughed. I'm like, "You're kidding, right?" And he was like, "No, I'm serious." He said, "When I retire, I'm gonna go out Bigfooting, and you're welcome to go with me, or you can stay home." And I was like, "And you're not getting rid of me that easy." So I said, "No, I'm going with you." And we started going out, and first things, we went to a couple meet and greets, and I met some amazing people. That's when I met Flatrock and Pat and Joe, which will be on later, and hearing everybody's stories. And these were legit, real people. These weren't, crazy people like I always pictured. And their stories were just so believable. And I thought, man, there might actually be something to this. So I was like, well, I'm getting a little more open to the idea. And then when we started doing a spot, we would hunt in West Virginia, and I had some my own experiences. I thought, wow, there really is something to this. Something is out. It's been an adventure for sure.
Mm. Yeah, I heard because I've asked Bud, and I'm gonna not touch it right now, but from what I understand, you've actually seen one. Is that right?
Yeah, last year down at Flat Rocks. It was, I believe it was October 1st, I believe it. And I actually got to see one I was using a night vision camera, but I got to see him step out in front of the camera. I think he was about 25 yards. And that made me 100% believer. There's no denying it now. And no matter what anybody tells me, I know what I seen. And I have not been the same since.
All right, here's a question that I've got to ask. Okay, Angie, you get introduced to hunting. Bud tells you that he's going to go Bigfoot hunting, which I'm sure was like, what in the world are you talking about? And you start talking to these people, and I know what you mean. You know, other people's stories, and coming from Pat and Joe, I could see where that was just like, maybe there is something to this, because you were basically, I'm not going to say you're not ignorant at all, but you know what I'm saying. You're ignorant to this particular subject by that time until you met them.
Right. Yeah.
And then, you know, after going out with them, seeing prints and other evidence, I'm sure you've seen it all down there at Flatrocks. And then when you finally do get to see one, what goes through your head at that point in time that, oh my goodness, there's one right in front of you? What through your head at that time?
At first, it was almost like, I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. This can't be real. And my first reaction was, I just wanted Bud, because he was a ways down the tree line from me. And I was almost like in shock. And I thought, I just started hollering, Bud, 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 because I wanted him to come back and see what I was seeing. It happened so quick. And I was just thinking, wow, am I actually seeing this? Is this really in front of me right now? And then that part of me was a little taken back, like, I really didn't know what to think. I wasn't really scared. I was more in shock, I think.
Kind of in awe.
Yeah, totally. Because to actually see one with your own eye, well, I mean, it was through the night vision camera, but to see it, there was no more question.
Yeah. And
it was there.
It's kind of an amazement. I tell people all the time, I wasn't scared when I seen mine. It was more that I'm like you, I can't believe what I'm looking at, but I recognized what it was, and there was no doubt about it. The rest of it after that was pretty much, can I get it closer? You know, it wasn't that I was afraid. I'm still behind a cage, was what I call it. I can't tell people what you really think. And because all of a sudden the realization that you are looking at one, it kind of blows your mind, but you're not scared. I wasn't, and apparently you wasn't either. It's just, I can't describe those thoughts and that feeling when you actually first see one, and all of a sudden, like my buddy says, they lied to us. These things are real. You know, that's just, it's just, you can't tell people actually how you felt. All right. So before we continue on,
you're just trying to in your mind over and over, and like,
No, I get it. I've played it over in my head probably thousands of times. Thousands. Okay. All right. Now, and we kind of got a little bit of delay, guys, so bear with us. We're going to work with this.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I would like for you to start off, and like I said, this is going to be a long show, so I know Miss Pat and them are patient. But I want you to tell folks, when we talked on the phone, basically your past when you was growing up. You remember the story, I'm sure. Do you care to tell that story about what was going on when you was younger?
My grandparents took me when I was about 8. Grandpa taught me how to handle a firearm and hunt. And then the next year he let me go by myself. And so I started heading back in the holler hunting all by myself about 9-10 years old, and been doing it ever since. And every time I'd come up out of the holler, Grandma would ask me, "Boy, did you see any teepees back here?" I'd be like, "Grandma, there ain't no more Indians around. They killed us all or sent us out west. And so, and I was like, why is she always asking me about teepees, you know? And Grandpa had hogs down over the hill, starting down in the holler there, and that's where we had the hog lot. And he always told me, he said, boy, you can go anywhere back here. Now, Grandpa had 160 acres of forest and 60 acres tillable. And then Mr. Mead, Mr. Airwood, and you know, back then, you know, you just care if I hunted your property. Heck no, boy, just go back there, do what you want, just don't leave no trash. So I had about 1,000 acres I could hunt, and I was back there every day after school. In summertime, I'd be out there 20, you know, all day, sometimes all night. But Grandpa always told me, he said, "Now, boy, when you go down the holler there to hunt, don't go to the right of the hog lot behind the pond there, you know, over towards Mr. Mead's property." He says, that's the only place you can't go on all that property back. So, all right, no problem. So, you know, I was disciplined pretty good by him. And if it wasn't for them, I'd probably been dead or in jail. But they, you know, they always told me that's the only place you can't go. And it never really crossed my mind. I was told I can't go. Didn't even think about it, can't go. Well, I was 11 when I killed my first, well, what I thought then was a big buck. You know, I was real excited, you know, but I made a bad hit. I hit it a little bit back. So, you know, I gave it, I don't know, probably 30, 45 minutes and went back to the house and you know, just something to drink and eat, and went back down the holler and started tracking. And that son of a gun, sure enough, when I was tracking him, that buck wound up going behind the pond, you know, down past the hog lot behind the pond and right over to Mr. Mead's property, and that where I'm not supposed to go. Well, I was brought up, you don't shoot nothing you don't eat. So there I was like, well, do I take an ass whipping for shooting something? Do I take an ass whipping for going where I was told not to go? So I was like, well, I might as well get the buck and take an ass whipping. So I started tracking him on that acreage there, and you know, I got the buck and gutted him and dragging him out. You know, I don't know if anybody dragged a deer, especially when you're that little. I mean, it took me 2 or 3 hours, but I noticed stick structures that looked like teepees. They just didn't have the skins wrapped around them. And I was like, I wonder if that's what Grandma was always asking me about. So I finally got that deer up to the house there, and I told my grandma, I said, Grandma, I seen teepee back here, and boy, she went off. She went nuts. She said, you're never going back here again. I'm like, what's the big deal? What's going on? And finally, I don't know, it was probably a month or two later, they let me in that them things were back here. And then my grandma even asked my grandpa, said, Frank, why are you letting that boy go back here by himself? And my grandpa would always say, don't worry about it, son. I said, I taught the boy right. And I didn't know what that guy was talking about until, you know, they set me down and said, hey, you know, we got these hairy people back there, hairy men of the woods. I'm like, whatever. I thought they was trying to scare me or something, you know, because sometimes I'd stay all night in the woods. And, but I'd hear stuff. I mean, now that I've gotten into this and heard other people's stories, yeah, I heard knocks and whoops and howls, but I'm like, well, it must be something I ain't never seen or heard. But as I got older and they let me in on it, I graduated, joined the military, and the whole time I was keeping my eyes out for all these signs everywhere I went. And then after I got in the military, got a job, you know, and started a career. Everywhere I'd go, I'd still keep an eye. And to this day, everywhere I go, I'm always, well, that's basically why I go somewhere, to look for Bigfoot. Me and her get quite a bit of calls now. Thank goodness. We're starting to get a lot more calls from private landowners to come check out their place, which is great. Because we live close to Salt Fork here. We also, we're about 25 minutes from Hocking Hills here in Ohio. So, and every time we go, there's just so many people to go them places. You don't know if it's another group in next holler over or what it is, or if it's a real thing. So, but word's kind of gotten out that, you know, some people was giving us calls to come check our places out. So we're looking forward to doing a lot more investigating this year.
I hope so. And
that's about it.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Yeah. I hope so. I've got a buddy that's on here tonight, Mr. Josh. He gets the same responses. People ask him, and tell him stories of stuff that goes around the property. And he's pretty close to Salt Fork and Hocking Hills too. But anyways, I'm sure there's some others in here too.
Okay.
Maybe sometime y'all might want to talk. But anyways, so y'all started going out to your own places like Hocking Hills. Is that where y'all first started, or did you go down? When did you? I guess the better question is
No, it was private property mostly.
private property.
Yeah, West Virginia is where we first
Yeah.
started hunting.
Yeah.
In West Virginia.
Did you have any luck there?
Yeah, we hunted that place for 4 years in West Virginia. Oh yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
man, it was so good. I mean, the only place so far is Flatrocks.
Oh, you.
I mean, we'd hunted that 4 years in a row. She got growled out, scared her to death. Footprints, and we've got some questionable videos. I'm a stickler, you know. If I can't tell what it is, I'll show. I just hate to put anything out there that, you know, like I caught some video down at Flatrocks there. Was it over last year?
When I sighting?
No, it was year before. Was that
Last year.
last year?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then, oh yeah, same time. Okay, man, they're all running together. But I caught something running, well, not running, but going away from it, picking from trees and bushes. And as I was going towards it, it was going away. And that's when I must have walked right by the one moving away or drawing me away from the one Angie seen. So that's what we think.
Okay. So when did y'all meet Flatrock?
It was 4 years ago down at Tennessee Squatch Out. Down a place called Flatrock, Jody, Joe Buck, Joe and Pat, Joe Parker and Pat Harrison. And we also met Squatching Cowboy Joe Pass. He's a pretty good dude. And several other people. I mean, most people we've met in this field is great people.
Most of them.
Oh yeah. yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Okay.
Now I've heard about Thunder Rock. Now, when I say I've heard about it, I just found out about it probably a couple of months ago, maybe a month ago. I'm going to go visit it hopefully next year and see what happens. But anyways, Flat Rock.
It's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful campground.
Oh, I imagine it's in Tennessee, right there at the line, Georgia line. If I remember.
Right. Yep.
And I'm going to take me and the wife. We're going to go down to that expedition museum.
That museum, yeah, we went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think if nothing else, that it'd be worth a trip to go down there and camp out and go to them two places. All right, Flat Rock. Have you got any questions for these two
Yes,
before
sir.
we move on? You
No,
sure?
I'm good.
I'm
Yes,
going to ask
sir.
you.
Hey, well, I'll tell you, I ain't got a question, but Bud, he, even though he was coming down, during them 2-week period, he mainly come to test my dog.
I remember.
Yeah, I told Flat Rock I was going to put it to the test.
Yeah. He put it, and Boo passed the test. I gotta agree.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
I forgot all
Yeah.
about that. But Bud told me about that. I forgot all about it. I'm glad you brought
Yeah.
that up.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, I wanted to do a quick show and tell with Bud and Angie because I just think they're the greatest people in the world. Especially and
They
Angie,
are.
that is a great Bigfoot story. It really is. And of course, I when Bud told me about his past, I said, "Man, you just don't hear that kind of stuff anymore." And I'm gonna say this before we move on. Bud, did you say your grandmother was half Cherokee? I believe.
She was half. I mean, Grandma was full, and Grandpa was half.
Okay. Okay. I knew it was something like that. I knew somebody was. Wait a minute. Hey, Michael, you want to see Flat Rock? Hang on. I'll let you see Flat Rock. Ta-da.
Go on, Michael.
Haywood?
All right.
Is that Haywood?
Yeah.
No, I don't
Yeah, that's
know.
Yeah.
old Haywood.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Hey,
That's our brother Haywood.
Let's see. Well, while I'm thinking
Mr.
about, hey, Michael,
Haywood.
how you
Hi,
doing tonight?
Michael.
And Miss Joanne come in there too, and I didn't get to say hi to her, so let me do that. All right, we're going to move on, and we're going to bring on the other half. Bud and Angie, if you don't mind, I'll put you back in the background, and we'll bring on the other
That's
two, and then
fine.
we'll bring all four of you on for something else we want to show here. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay. Whew. There we go. And now our next two, you'll be come up there with you, Flatrock. Does that make you feel better?
Yeah, come on. Come on.
All right, our next two is another part of this. I don't know if you want to call it a gang or whatever you want to do it, but these are all generally very good friends of one another. And you could tell it when I was talking to them on the phone that they cared very much about each other, and you could tell that they were genuine friends, period. Um, Pat, I'm going to tell you what, I just love her to death. But anyways, I'll just put it this way. I was talking to Miss Pat, and Miss Pat goes, I said, well, I would like to talk to Joe because I've never heard Joe on a show before, or even much less in the chat. And Joe agreed to come on the show. Man, I was talking. You talking about fired up? I was all fired. I couldn't wait for tonight. So, anyways, without further delay, we're going to bring them on. Let's see here. There they are. Mr. Joe and Miss Pat, how are y'all doing?
How you doing?
We're doing just wonderful. How are y'all?
Great.
Oh, there
With
you
my
go.
people.
Yep.
That's right.
That's my family there. That's my
Good to
family
see you,
there.
Flat Rock. Didn't think you was gonna make it.
Good to see you too, Joe.
Didn't think you was
Huh?
gonna make it.
Oh, I know it.
Touch and go.
I'm a day behind, Bubba. Day
Oh, that's all
behind.
right. I wasn't gonna let you get left out. I had,
Thank you.
I'm going to do the show without him. Good grief. Don't let him know that. No,
that's
I
my
wasn't
best
going to
friend
do it.
right there.
I cannot do a show with Flat Rock on this tonight. Y'all do it because I was getting worried. I was sweating. All right. Now, Miss Pat, if you don't mind, we're going to let you reintroduce yourself here in a minute, but I want everybody to meet Mr. Joe. And guys, like I said, all this ties in together, so y'all be patient. Joe, how are you doing? And I know somewhat how y'all met, but how did you get into Bigfoot?
Well, I say we, years ago we had a few things that came on. It was sci-fi type stuff, and it was Bigfoot stuff, and I was always a student of it. And then finally, about 10 years ago or so, I was out and heard some wood knocks around the farm, and it got me interested and it got me aware. I didn't know really for the longest. I didn't know if I was hearing anything or not. It was just like I never been around anything like that I knew of that's close, and didn't have the knowledge. And finally, when I got knowledge enough to be paying attention and listening, and then I had something right on top of me happen, and it made me aware that that Bigfoot possibly could be right there at our farm, and I never even realized it. Nor anywhere around our parish. We live in Louisiana, so there's parishes instead of counties. But the more we went, as time went on, the more I heard, and more whistles I got, and wood knocks I got. And I never had a visual, but I always had something going on in the woods that was related, like to what a Bigfoot would do. And I just kept going for years. When I was turkey hunting or deer hunting, I would have things whistle at me or do a wood knock, and I've always kept the interest in it. When I met Miss Pat, we both had an interest together. Then we started going together, foot and as well as going together as a couple.
And amazed what you can hear once you feel like you've been educated.
Did you hear you, sir?
Oh, I'm
Say it
sorry.
again?
I said, ain't it amazing what you hear out in the woods once you've been
Right.
educated?
We just never was educated
Yeah.
as much to it around here where I was at. And then I finally somebody mentioned certain things. They were doing stuff. I know it seemed silly on TV, but actually, uh, it was something to it. But being commercialized and TV for TV and everything, they made it more elaborate and everything. But it actually happens. You just got to be. It's not near as glorified and stuff that as it is that you see on TV. What about they made so many wood knocks and yells and all that stuff that we didn't. I never did hear no yells or nothing by no means, but I did hear wood knocks and stuff.
Yeah, I've done a wood knock before, and if you kind of experience it, it freaks you out. It freaks you out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when it freaks you out, it's kind of like Miss Angie a while ago. You don't really don't know what to think. You know,
You
uh,
don't know.
you know. Now, why people do that? Anyways, so let's move on to Miss Pat for real quick because I'm telling you guys, I can't wait to show y'all something. I really can't. Miss Pat, Miss Pat, how are you doing? I'm so glad to see you again.
Oh, great, great. It's nice to you make you feel like you're at home. Nice to see you.
Oh, I'll tell you what, guys. I talked to her the other night. Well, we was talking on the phone about 2 hours. Was it
Yeah,
somewhere around?
probably.
I'm a
She's the
Ace it
greatest.
up, and she was so much fun. And Joe was in the
Yeah.
background, and I just had so much fun. Y'all
Mhm.
really don't know. I had a blast. Uh, yeah, guys, if y'all ever get to talk to them, you'll understand. You will. These are good people, good folks, and they're the kind that you just don't want to tear away from. You can sit there and listen to them all night long. You know, and yeah, you
Absolutely.
sure can. So, Miss Pat, I can't remember. I've had you on my show before. It's been what
About a year
over a
ago.
year ago. Yeah, and I can't remember what was your first experience with Bigfoot that got you involved.
They got me involved. Okay, well, I can tell you my first experience.
That'd be fine.
But I've always had an interest in it. We can go into that too. As I lived in California, and a friend of the family's, my parents' they came over to the house, and they were going to show a film, and it was on like the old projectors in the old film. And I know that I was probably, I'm going to tell my age here. I was probably 11, 12 maybe. And I know that that was in 67, 68. And we were not allowed to be in the room. And they went on an expedition, and it was Bigfoot that he had recorded. And I know that a couple months later, we went over their house, and I was sitting in the room by my dad, but I was not allowed to look at the photos. And he was showing my father and talking about an expedition that he went on, and he had some photos and showed my father these photos. So this is how I was introduced to Bigfoot, not through the Gimlin film or anything like that. That's how I knew about him. But I've always had an interest, and plus, when I was 13, we moved back to Ohio. So you know that's where they're known. The grass man is known in Ohio.
Mhm.
So, and the Loveland Frog, right where I'm at as well. And then after my husband passed in 2018, I discovered YouTube,
Mhm.
and I got on and got into chats and different things. Well, I got into some chats where they were going to have like a little meet and greet, a get together, and it was mostly women. So we were going to meet at Falk, Arkansas. So I said, well, why not? I had just recently retired. My kids are grown. I don't have anything to do. I'm going to go find the answers to all my questions. So we took off down there. I took off down there with a girl from Pennsylvania that was in the chat. We took off down there, and we spent like, I don't know, maybe 4 days. And there was wood knocks. We were right there in Falk, Arkansas, right there at Alex Smith Park. We experienced, I had them slapping on my tent. They were running through camp late at night. I was laying there and they were running through. About the third time, I just about had enough because they pressed against my face. And she told me to get out of the tent. I hollered, and she said, "Get out of the tent right now and come over here." And her tent was right next to mine. And she had me get out of the tent, and we walked to the edge of the woods, and there was like a creek there. And you could see eye shine all down in there. And she said, "Now tell him, Pat, tell him to knock it off, not to do this anymore, that you're not going to put up with it." And so I did. But and they did stop. It was a full moon. But the next night, Joe had come down. I had met Joe through the chats and everything. We had been friends for probably, I don't know, a good 6 months, maybe even longer, that we just talked all the time. And he was in the chats with us. And we were all just like one big happy group. Well, he put his tent up next to our tent. And I watched one that night. He was sound asleep in his tent at the edge of the tent. And I watched one crawl up next to the tent and reach out to try and touch him. And what we would do is we would go, say, like 10 o'clock at night, and we would sit in our tents real quiet, and we would observe. And she said that they'll usually come up. They're used to people around there. So that's what we were doing. And we could talk back and forth if we wanted to. So I would sit up in my tent half the night watching for these things. They said because they were very accustomed to people around there. And they were known to come up into the camp. And I've heard that relatively several times afterward. And I watched him crawl up to reach out and touch him. And I finally couldn't stand it anymore because I work with animals all my life anyway. I'd work with horses. And I just said real calmly, I said, "Hello there." And I said, Joe says I always want to pet him. But
Yeah.
and I said, "Hello there." I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Come here. I want to see you." And it stopped. I could see the shadow. Like I said, there was a full moon. The other girl that she was from New Orleans, like his little sister. She came down and she was sleeping in the tent too. Well, she said she couldn't turn the light off. And so you could see the outline is this thing, but I had the cast of the light in the tent, and with the full moon, you could see relatively well. So I could see the hair on the arms as it was reaching out to try and touch him. I could see a silhouette of the face, the shape of its head, and it, like I said, and it would crawled up alongside another tent. So it was kind of I couldn't see the whole body, but I saw from the chest up. And it backed out. And a few minutes later, I watched it crawl up again to try and to reach out and touch the tent because Joe was in there snoring. And he was playing the sleeping camper, I guess, as bait. And it came, but it almost touched him. It almost touched him. And I said, "What are you doing? Come here. I want to see you." And then finally it stopped, it backed out, and it never came back. So, but I did get a visual that first time that I was out. And like I said, and I did experience one pushing on the tents. I believe now that they were juvies all up in there. They tend to be a little ornery in that area. And they're pranksters. A lot of people have stated it around that campground. And that's how I basically got into it. And then after that, I was hooked.
I got a question for you and a couple statements.
Yes.
First person, if I'm camping beside you and you tell me to come over to your tent and I got a suspicion that one of them's around my tent, my response is, you come over here. I ain't getting out of this tent. No. Or what John Finette said, nay, it ain't happening. But now I do have a question for you, Miss Pat. That's a great story. When you said it crawled up, was
Yes.
it on hands and knees, all
Yes.
fours? What it looked like to you?
The best I could see, it was just hunkered down, and it was just, what would you say, like an army crawl, maybe? I guess
Was
that's how you could put it.
was his belly low to the ground, or was it up like
I
you were?
guess I couldn't see his belly.
Okay,
I
so there
couldn't
wasn't no
see the
real big
belly.
gap.
Yeah, it was just the chest, from the chest up, but its belly was on the ground. Yes, pretty
His
much.
belly was on the ground.
Close to it, I guess. It was
Mhm.
a little hard to see that
Mhm.
part.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm just trying
I
to
had
get
a
a visual.
tent blocking the way.
Yeah, because I've got people tell me that they spider crawl. I've heard them that they run on all fours. Uh, all this kind of good stuff. So to talk to somebody that's actually seen one crawling from a close distance, whether you can see it all or not, I'm trying to get a visual. Do they actually do they have their arms out, spread out, and walking like a daggum spider, or do
He
they
did.
have them
This one
up,
didn't. This
like
one
they
didn't.
crawl?
No, this one didn't. From what I could tell, this one was not doing any of that.
Okay.
It was just crawling up there. And it was mainly, I seen it mainly as it was reaching, that it was
Mhm.
reaching out to touch the tent, is what I was experiencing and what I could see, because there was another tent where it had crawled alongside, and they're inside and they hear this thing crawling up next to them. I guess you didn't.
That's the closest I would have came to being one icebox was when she run it off.
Yeah.
I could have got touched. But
Right.
Don't be say touched by an angel. No.
I
maybe
was-
she did me a favor. I don't know.
Baby. No, I've heard that. I'm serious. I've heard that they are little pranksters.
Yes.
People don't realize it.
Oh,
They
yeah.
could be camping and ones to be around, and you not even know it. And their game is to see if they can touch you.
Mhm.
That's their game. And once they touch you or get so close, they're done. They leave for the night. I've heard of it.
Right. Well, we've had them shake our camper too. We were
That's
camping out in the national forest, and it was probably about 10:30 at night, and 10:30, 11 o'clock. And we were in the back of the campground. I mean, you're lucky to see a car once a day drive by out on the main road. And this is way back in the campground. There's no one around there. In the very back, right by the woods, and there's a big trail that runs back in there. And the kitchen window I always keep the kitchen window open. And I was turning out the lights. Joe was in bed. We were going to watch a show on his phone, and the generator was running. And as I was getting ready to turn the light out, I heard movement right outside the camper, right by the window. And it felt like it was brushing up against the camper. And it was walking past, and it was going more towards the door. And that is the side that it had walked past the bedroom, apparently. And that's the side that Joe is on as well. But I said to Joe, Joe, there's something out there. I could hear movement. And he said, well, get in bed here. So I had just turned off the light, or I turned off the light, and I got in bed. And you could hear movement up towards the door of the camper. And as it was coming, it started moving back, and you could hear the movement. And alongside the camper. And as it was coming down, Well, Joe and we argue about this part. Joe beat on the wall.
It already beat first. So. I
But
think it hit around the trailer
yeah,
door and that step. We never could find the track. I mean, the handprint or knuckle print or
right.
right there by the door, but it had to hit right there close because it rattled the trailer really hard. And I just remember somebody doing something on one of the shows where he slapped the tent back. So I just slapped the little cabinet on the side of the bed. And when
Yeah,
I did,
he did like this. He beat on
I
it.
mean, I just like slapped it one time back of my hand. It's just flimsy door and all that. So it made a pretty good racket. Well, shoot, one but a second, they rattled it again. And I don't remember exactly how all it went down, but I had to get up and go roll the awning in. So we was trying to debunk it being the awning and or somebody come up on us from the road because we was in the back of the park by ourselves, back of the campground by ourselves. And I got the awning in, and then we turned the awning light back on so we could see out because at first we couldn't see out. I think I had the window might been up, but I couldn't see anything out there because I didn't have no ambient light mounted, nothing outside. And when I went to, we have a rear bath in our camper, and when I got back to the restroom area toward the back, which is the door to go out the door and awning and all, the switch for the awning, and I was right there too. I heard it run off, whatever it was, and I never did see it. By then, it shook the camper once or twice. I'd done something up there with hitting the camper, and eventually it made a noise during the night over by the slide outside. It sounded like it kind of come out one of the slide out. Boom, boom, boom.
It rocked it.
And you could feel it. I mean, it was to the point where I had a judge pistol sitting by my bed, for protection in the place. And I said, if he tears that door down and he gets to this other door, I'm gonna give him every barrel I got. Every bullet that's in there, it's gonna be at him. And it didn't come to that. And it was a little bit went by, and she just weirdest thing. She leaned up in bed and she screamed at him to knock it off. And lo and behold, it got quiet and nothing got aggressive the rest of the night. And it might have been after she could say she could hear it. I couldn't hear it. And I say rest of the night, nothing happened. But one thing did happen about 12:01, the generator run out of gas.
Uh-oh.
So, I have a BiPAP machine I wear, and I'm sure a lot of older folks has to have one. But anyway, so when that went down, I went ahead on and told her, so I'm going to get up and either we're going to be hot or we're going to have to put some more fuel in it. So I give her the pistol and I give her flashlight, and I just got up, got my shoes on, and I just had what I had on in the bed, and we went to the truck, got a 5 gallons of gas, and we went on around there and put the fuel in. Before I went out, I took the fob and I hit the truck and started the truck. So it makes some racket, run anything off, might have been there, give a little light outside too. And we did do that, but we went on around there to the generator, we filled it up, we didn't see anything, didn't really hear anything. We killed the truck. We got back inside and everything's back running again like normal. It was, we just went on and got back in the bed. And I never could see anybody out there. I looked out to see if I could see anybody up at the road or hear somebody running off laughing like, ignorant kids do or something. I couldn't debunk it with any of that. I tried, but it wasn't nothing I could do about debunking it. And a lot of people looked at them and, you tell a story and all, they just, they got a lot of doubt in their mind. But that's the way that laid out. It just happened. We had a little bit of audio the night before, and our audio we was very new to using audio, and we didn't have it backed up for the next night. So we didn't get to use our audio recorder the second night. And Miss Pat feels that they were there both nights, but for sure something rocked her camp. And we didn't know at the time till we got out and got to looking. People that camped there all week and must have rented the place and done a big camp out. And I imagine they made so much racket and had food left over in the woods and all that. We came in like a Monday or Tuesday. We was camping in the middle of the week. We came in right behind those folks, and I think that's the reason why the boogers up there pretty tight to that campground. They were probably up there getting what
Yeah,
they could, and
yeah.
been on all the racket stuff over the weekend. They probably was lured up there watching the people, and here we are, Ma and Paul, back in the back of the campground. They, you know, if it was a juvie back there, he was thinking probably, we finna get them old sack stuffers right there tonight. And that's, you know, pretty much the second night. They come home and done their little thing, and Miss Pat run them off.
Oh,
Before it got too bad.
Well, Miss
There's
Pat.
another time.
no, I hollered at them.
That's what happened.
It
I
does
mean,
work.
it's
It does
crazy.
work.
The same thing happened in Falk. That's where she learned it from. The lady made her go out to the woods at Falk.
I am jealous, Miss Pat. I want to go to Fountain so bad it ain't even funny. Flatrock. Let me do this real quick.
I was about to tell you that, yeah, there's another one that come real close to the trailer over in Hollins. We was at a camp out 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was 4 years ago. It's the first time we all went to Hollins. Yeah, I mean, I've never been there, but it's when we all got there. Everybody ganged up at this area where, you know, a bunch of people were. Pat and Joe, they had went to their trailer. Their backside of their trailer, you know, the front side of their trailer is faced right there toward the wood line. Well,
Hold up,
you
Flatrock.
know, where
Hold
we're
up.
all sitting,
Hold up.
where we're all sitting, we're
Time
all
out. All right, let me do this because, you guys, I'm having a little bit of a problem. I'm starting to cough. I need to go smoke a cigarette to help settle. Believe it or not, it helps settles it down. I want to say hi to Bayou, Crankin, Henry, Dog, Misfit. I believe that's my buddy Steve. I want to say hi to y'all first. Flat Rock, continue on with your story. I'll be right back, bud. I'm sorry about that, but I'll be right. You know
That's
what I'm
okay.
talking about, so I'll be right back, guys.
Yep.
Just give me about 5. Flat Rock, take over, buddy. I'll see you in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. But we were all sitting at the table. There's like 15 of us, and we started seeing eye shine over toward where Pat and Joe's trailer is. And it was peeking over this little white truck, but it was a little deeper into the woods. Well, later on, I met up with Joe. Joe had just come outside. I ain't told him what we had seen yet. And that's when he just come out and said, hey, something was messing around out here just, last night or, around 2 o'clock that morning. And that's the time we were seeing the eye shine out there. And that's what I actually went over there to tell him, there was eye shine close to his trailer, but he had done mentioned to me before I even said something that he was actually had something right there beside his trailer. So that trailer is pulling them. It seems like it is pulling them burgers close to y'all
Well,
for some reason.
we was right on the edge of the wood line.
I think it's Miss Pat doing it.
We was right on the edge of that wood line that night. On that across the
Right
road,
on the edge of that wood line,
right in line where y'all were at.
Yep.
But when I went around the corner that night, the awning was touching the wood line. Well, the bushes was moving. I couldn't see what was leaving there, but something was leaving there. When I come around the edge of the trailer, it was right there close. And I didn't see.
Yeah, it was real close.
I could say I didn't see what it was, but it's like I should have seen it, but I couldn't see what it was. It was gone. And then I stayed out there working on a walking stick after that point. And I think Miss Pat and Jody or somebody was there, whoever was walking around, camp to camp. And y'all had seen something up the hill, and it was that little scope of woods in between where we were at and where y'all were at. It was right in line with us.
Yeah. What we were looking at was right behind y'all. Right behind y'all. Here's your trailer right here. Whatever we were seeing was right here inside that wood line. And it was straight up with y'all's trailer over here. Because there's a white truck that was parked right here. We're right here, looking at it. You're right there. And you could see the eye shine perfect, just perfect. There's a bunch of us seen.
It was right behind where the bathroom was this year. Same place behind that bathroom.
Same place.
That's a natural crossing, I believe, where them jaws come up there, where that road pinches together. It looks like a natural crossing up there.
And that's where David's wife, David Beasley's wife, caught that growl right there where that
Well, they caught something there this year, running across the road right there.
That's what they're saying.
We're building them there early in the week. They caught something come across the road right there.
Yep. But I think this was the Woodwalkers camp out where they had caught that growl. Yeah. It could have been. Let's see. No, I tell you back. It was Mark Green's camp out. That's who it was. That's the camp out. She caught that growl. It was 2 camp outs
Okay.
ago.
That's when we was parked down by
Yeah,
the circle, and that's kept seeing stuff, and get a glimpse of stuff down
That's
there
right.
around the camper. And I had a cap on that
Yeah.
camper that night. When I went and got in the camper, everybody else was out there by the fire. Something got on there. Then it got quiet.
Yeah.
I should have tapped back
Yeah.
that night. I just didn't think about doing it. Yeah. But
Yep.
that was a pretty
Yep.
hot area too. I mean, they like to run around that campground over there for whatever reason.
They do. They really do. I don't know why they do that with all those people there, but it seems like they're really interested in what we're doing over there. If we're
It
leaving out
might be just
food,
an old natural
or
place.
whatever.
I mean, if they don't come right
Could
close,
be their own natural place.
we're not going anywhere to find them. You know what I'm saying? If they don't come like at your place, if they don't come around the house, kind of luring over toward the house, we're really not going out and running the roads to find them. They're usually coming right there to you because they stay pretty close. Evidently,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah, I think they stay real close. Now I know they're around right now. Not this moment, but for the last 4 nights, I know they've been around because I've heard them out there, and recorded some pretty good stuff this past
Great.
week. But but I need them around when y'all get here. That's when it's gonna be
Right.
fun.
We got some great ideas this year.
It's always fun. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I cannot wait
Oh,
till y'all
wow.
get here.
With Bud and
really can.
Angie,
Oh, wow.
we have been doing this. We met Bud and Angie at
Thunder Rock.
Thunder Rock, along with you and
Everybody
Jody.
did that. The whole crew.
Yeah,
A lot of
that's
people.
right.
And
The
we
whole
have
crew.
remained, and that was what, 4 or 5 years ago? And
About 4 or 5
we
years
have
ago.
remained all close friends
Mhm.
and gone places together ever since.
Yep. We'll be going somewhere at the end
Yeah,
of this
we've
month.
experienced a lot.
Meeting
Mhm.
up at El. Yep. Yep.
But we
That's
don't
gonna be
need
fun. I
anything.
wish
We
I
stay
could have met
together
up with
and
y'all.
we carry on being together.
Right.
Yeah, I wished I could have met up with y'all
Oh.
in March, but I just wasn't getting into that
I
into
know.
that weather.
I know. It
Could
was
not
bad.
do it.
It was
Could
really
not do
bad.
it.
All right.
It was
Speaking
bad.
of that time, okay, I'm gonna bring Bud and Angie back on,
Yeah.
and let y'all talk some more stuff, and I'm gonna kind of just get by the wayside, let Flatrock take over this because I love listening to you guys. Let's see.
Reminisce.
He's put
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly
We're
what
just
I want.
reminiscing.
yes, he has put so much
Me.
time into me with this film that he has been right there with me on every question, every
Mhm.
concern, every doubt, everything.
He was number one to watch it.
Yes.
All right.
He
Well,
was the
yeah, we're
first
gonna
one
He
to
was the
see
number
it.
one to watch it.
we're
And,
gonna break. We're gonna
He
break
should
them
have
all.
been there.
But
Yep. We're gonna.
I wish there was. But I'm not a talker, big icebox. You gotta do this.
No worries. I want y'all to reminisce a little bit, and then, guys, if you don't know, we do have a video coming up, and hopefully it'll work. If it don't, I'll reset it, and we'll hope it works then. If not, I will knock everybody out and redo it. You know what I mean? We're gonna see this video tonight, and Steve, you ain't gonna believe what you're fixing to see here in just a little bit. But I want to get Bud back on here. I don't see
Yes.
Miss Angie. She probably went to bed. I don't know, but maybe she'll come in here. But
Yes.
anyways, I want you guys to reminisce. I will back out, and when Flatrock, when you need a little help, I will come back in. So no worries there, buddy. So let me see. All right, there he is.
There
All
he
right.
is.
Yep.
Where's Angie?
All right. Bud, where's Miss Angie?
She went to bed.
I
Oh,
figured. That's why that's what I was
was a
telling you guys.
no-brainer.
That's what I was telling you guys. I figured she would, and I wanted to meet Miss Angie. I surely did. All
done
right, guys.
good.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Flat Rock, go ahead and reminisce a little bit, and now we'll be back right here. I'm sitting here listening. So y'all have at it for a few minutes, and then we're gonna get to that video. Does that sound good, Miss Pat?
Okay.
All right, I will back out for a minute. Y'all go right ahead. Y'all can tell me some stories about what's happened down at Flat Rocks. That's what I really want to hear, because I want to hear it from y'all's perspective also.
Well, Bud, what did you when Angie was called you back over when she was seeing this whatever back out in the woods? What was your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I didn't even know anybody took off with me and Boo. And I was halfway down your fence line there, and I'll start screaming my name. So I turned around and ran back to her. And yeah, she was, I wouldn't say scared. I'd say more of an adrenaline rush. I mean, she was shook up pretty good. I mean, not scared wise, just she was just so, I don't know, just couldn't stand still.
Shocked. She was shocked.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, she had your back though,
No,
Bud.
yeah,
People don't realize she had
Uh,
a better view. What she had than the recording was that you had. Hers was 10 times better than what you really got to see, and we all got to see what you had. But I mean, she got to see a lot more of the subject than we ever could put together on the other thermal. I wish we would have had the recording, from hers, but listen to her tell it. She got to see the whole show on that deal.
Yeah, and where Bud caught that thermal at over here, it seems like that's where they come up a lot at right there. And they come around and coming right there at that little where we go back out in the woods at, and then come back around behind the house. But the seed bud's little capture there, even though we don't know what it was, ducking behind that tree. That was still a great capture that he caught back there, and it basically verified what Angie had seen.
That's what I say. Hers,
there's no doubt about that.
I don't think she'd been fighting like she. She just had Bud's little clip to put that.
And Bud just caught that thermal too. Caught that thing jumping behind that tree right before Angie started yelling, "Bud, Bud, 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 Bud."
Right.
So that brought that right into focus, and basically verified both of them. Be honest with you.
We'll get them again.
And also what I liked all of it though. This dog that's sitting right here beside me. That's what I liked. He made sure we went and seen that thing. And we caught it. Well, Bud caught it.
Right.
And Angie caught it.
I don't think people know exactly how that went down, Bud.
Yeah, explain that, Bud. How you seen that?
He might be lagging.
Well, Flatrock had told me earlier that there's a delay on my end, probably 10-15 seconds. It's kind of hard here, so I'm trying to talk and listen. But Flatrock had told me earlier in the day that Boo was he told me the year before too, but he said Boo's a Bigfoot dog. Boo only barks at or growls when they're around. And earlier that day, there was a cat walked across. I don't know if you remember that, Flatrock. That black cat walked across right in front of their camper, Joe and Pat's camper. And Boo just looked at it and laid back down. No big deal. Well, that night, we left Hollins and went to your place, and then just got set up. And then we was over sitting talking to Joe and Pat underneath their awning. And it was dark, and so we was sitting there, and Boo was laying right in the middle of us all. And it was probably my fault, because usually when me and Angie go, I handle the night vision and she handles the thermal. The night vision's got a lot more buttons and bells and whistles and all. So so we just had stuff laying on the table right there, and we was all kicking it. And all of a sudden Boo rose up, looked over towards the wood line, and pew, gone. So I was like, I just rushed and grabbed the first thing I could and took off after him. So I go running with him over and going down that fence row, and he stopped. So I stopped and I start filming. And Boo just walks off. So I start walking down the fence row. And I really didn't notice that much movement until we watched it the next morning. Pat said, "Hey, wasn't you recording, bud?" I said, "Yeah, I forgot." So, see, so I'm halfway down that fence road. And I hear Angie. I'm sorry.
That was the next night we got to watch it, actually.
Yeah,
Because I was by the fire. Y'all left me to die over at the fire while we all went in the house.
but anyway, I'm halfway down that fence row, and I hear Angie start screaming my name. So I turn around and haul butt back towards her, and I can see she's just, kind of like pointing, like, and like I said, when I grabbed. Yeah, so when I grabbed the thermal and I took off after Boo, and like I said, we usually let Angie use that one, but I just grabbed the closest thing to me and took off after Boo. And so she kind of was 20 seconds or so behind me. Night vision, it automatically came on, started recording it, but the night vision, you have to turn it on, then you have to turn on the IR, the setting you want, and then you have to hit the record button. Well, she just had the night vision on, which it still gathers the ambient light, but so you still can see back in the shadows and all, just not as good if you have the IR on. Well, she's seen this thing step out about 25 feet from her, and she went in shock, buddy, and started screaming my name. And then me and you, Flatrock, went over and tried to enact it, and it's, right there at night. Then me and Joe went over that morning, and Pat. And we found where that looked like that thing had stopped and turned all of a sudden and pushed the pine needles up. And I mean, it was great. I mean, The only thing I can figure is the one that I got on thermal must have thought I seen it and was leading me away, and I had to walk right past that one Angie seen. I mean, who knows how long that thing was sitting there watching us. It was what, 50 yards probably from
sitting there watching.
Yeah. And who knows how long that thing, because that next day, me and Pat and Joe went over and, tried to get measurements and all. And I found that 8-foot ravine, and that thing could have walked right up that ravine, not be seen, and stepped up and bam, right there's Joe and Pat's camper.
I think they was watching us from beyond, under the awning, that daylight or dark, from down that road. Come up into the edge of that road.
But y'all and almost the same thing happened to us either the year before or 2 years ago when we were all sitting around the campfire. We walked back in the wood. Well, when we were sitting at the campfire, Joe talking about he seen a red eye shine.
You were sitting.
Just a glimpse of it off the corner of his eye.
Yep.
And I think this is the year Jody was over there.
Yeah.
And when Jody, Miss Pat, and Angie walked over this way, I think Angie had the camera. Miss Jody could have.
Yeah.
I mean, Miss Angie would have.
Yeah.
But they were spamming Jody, and they pointed that camera toward that shed, toward my mom's shed over that way. And that night while I was going over that video, because I wanted to hear that bird. That bird go off again that night. And there's that red eye shine right where we heard this bird come from. And I called y'all in.
Yeah, we didn't even know we caught anything until you.
It basically showed exactly what Joe was seeing that night.
Area.
That red eye shine.
I was in right behind you just for a minute. I seen the same kind of thing in the woods that night. We made that loop through the woods. It was just a little shine, a little red shine, just for a second.
Yeah, we had the thermals, and if me and Joe would have just went a couple more, we'd had it on thermal, and didn't.
That's right. You sure would have. You sure would have. And I think the craziest thing that's ever happened with y'all over here was last year. Not this past year, but the year before. Before we caught all that audio. And yours and Miss Pat, y'all both have recorders out that night. Different places. And both of y'all's recorders went off completely off around the same time that night. Batteries are still good, but your recorders went off. That's I mean, you hear about that on online a lot, but to actually see that and witness it,
Yeah, same
two
here.
of them, not just one, but two of them, that kind of blew my mind a
Well,
little bit.
the thing I really liked was when Pat and Angie went back there and set the
Oh,
tall grass area, you call it. Tell them about that, Pat. I mean, that was good.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
oh
was. That was
yeah,
good.
that's okay. That's where we went back to this grassy area, and it's like a round circle, and it's surrounded by woods, and they're thick too. Well, we decided we were going to go back and we were going to play some different audio, and it was just going to be Angie and myself. And what we were going to do is what we did is we took two chairs, we sat back to back to one another. We had a video recorder filming us that we had set up. We both had thermals with us, and we had an audio recorder, and we also had Angie had her phone, and we were playing some music. We were playing some music back in there, and also some singing. And when we started the singing, which is another experiment we're going to do again, um, we got a growl, and Angie was uncomfortable with that. So we said we stopped that. And we decided not to play the coyotes. But we were playing some audio back there and everything, and we got some sounds, got some very interesting sounds. I have yet to find this microchip. I'm still looking for it. It had a lot on it, a lot of audio on it, and I cannot find it to save my life. Um, and I'll eventually find it somewhere. And I thought I left it here because I had to go up north. So I know it's not up north. I know it's here somewhere. But we were getting some sounds and movements and things like that when we would say anything. And I know when we were getting and you could hear them moving around us, but we just couldn't see them because through the wood line because it's so thick there. But we tried that. We
It's there.
stayed back
It
there
is
for a
real good.
while and hung out. And like I said, I'd love to find the recording of that. But we have on my audio recordings, I have recorded so much there that it was so interesting. I've heard they beat on metal back in there somewhere. They sound like metal pipes or something. They beat on that. They like I said, the most interesting thing out of all my recordings I've ever recorded ever was when they were tapping, when you hear the road noise on the road, and you hear the thump, the thump, the thump as the tires are hitting the road and the roadway there, and it was mimicking that, and it was on the metal part of the arm on the awning, and I had a recorder sitting right there in the cup holder in my chair, and it was just right there. We've heard them in the cooler, nothing, and when we get up in the morning, nothing's moved. Heard them all around. Jody would sleep in her car. Heard them moving around Jody. Bud has had several things happen, haven't you, Bud?
You're right there at the truck in my park. Yeah.
Yeah, you've had them whoop and do some different things. The one night that that Bud was talking about when they're discussing that the recorders went off, Bud had just went to bed, Bud and Angie, and it was like I remember it being 11:30. He had set his recorder out. Yeah. My recorder was running, and and I had just not long before had started my recorder, and it was running fine. I've never had a bit of problem out of this recorder, and I had it on the back of the truck, and Flatrock, Joe, and myself were sitting outside the camper just right there. And 50 yards away or so, something comes out and it hollers at us. We're sitting there and it's
Yep.
hollering at us. And so I said, "Oh, we got it, we got it, we got it." And at that same time, Bud was having the whoop over there by your truck, you were saying. And but when I walked over to check my recorder to get my recorder to do a playback, it had shut completely off. Bud's shut completely off as well. I
Yeah.
started mine back up and it played the rest and it recorded the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Yep. Now I actually caught those recordings, and I picked up that whoop, really good whoop, and they was a
Yeah.
came out of the wood line as well. Recorded both of them. Boy, them were good. Michael, about the deer, Bud and Angie ain't wasn't here that year. It was when Joe Pass
And Joe.
was here.
Yeah.
But Joe, if you want to talk about those deer real quick, go ahead.
It was, I don't know what year it was. It's been maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
4 years ago. 4 years ago.
We got the first time we got to go was with Joe Pass and his wife. And me and Miss Pat went with those folks, and we all had met at Thunder Rock the year before, or 6 months before, something like that. So they made a plan to go to Flatrock's place the next spring. I think is what it was. I think we was in Thunder Rock maybe in September, and we went to Flatrock somewhere in March or something like that, April, something. I don't know. It was still cold.
March. It was March or April. Yeah.
And so Flatrock was showing us some areas and stuff during the day. Joe Pass, myself, and we went down in some woods around the corner from his house, and we found like 5 or 6, 7 carcasses down in the woods where deer was wrapped around trees, or they was mostly put to, still attached to the bone for bone was attached and all. Yeah. They wasn't tore apart or nothing like that. It was just a weird kill site. It was off the road a little piece. Didn't look like they were just all thrown out in the woods, but hard to tell. But it was had a lot of carcasses of deer that like they were beat up. Not necessarily beat up. Some of them had broke legs, but not all. And they was deposited, in the woods around the corner from where Flatrock lives there. And we all got we went.
Yeah, about 200 yards square.
We all got a good idea of what was going on down in there. And then 2 years later or so, you went down there to look around. It was about all gone, Bud. Was it something like that?
Yeah.
Flatrock took me down there.
Yeah. Yeah, I just but that was a unique find down in the woods. I don't know what had done all that. It didn't seem to be like what people would do if they were just disposing carcasses, but it was definitely a bunch of bones and isolated deer in about 6 or 7 places. Like it was just a wad. I mean, a double up wad of bones. It was still together, tendon wise. It was still together, and probably done all. Went the time Bud seen them. They probably were just pieces by then, but they were still together when we got to see them the years before that, a couple years or whatever before that.
Yeah.
They was I don't know what went on with that, but it looked like a lot of killing was going on some kind right there.
One of my best times out there at Flat Rocks is when we were all together, and Angie had the idea of it was Angie's idea to come up with Jody doing the calls, and
I remember that.
her doing the calls and her walking to the edge of the wood line, and we're sitting all around the fire. And
I tried to push her to go a little further.
And they all hollered, and it sounded like a roll call around there. The place exploded. And she had one screaming at her right in front of her, and she come running back to the fire. That was the best. And then later on that night, and
Yeah.
they sounded just like Jody, didn't they, Bud?
Yeah.
Where you made that
Yeah.
comment.
Identical.
Is it-
I've
is
got
this
all
the
that
same-
recorded.
Is this same night I heard where she done some whoops?
Yeah.
She
Oh,
done
she
some
done some
house.
house too. I know I
Oh,
heard somebody on
Yeah.
Flatrock that done some whoops.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if it's a house, it's more of a note, ain't it? Ain't it the different notes?
Yes, she did on a note that cause she's a classical
Yeah.
opera
Uh-oh.
singer. Is that
Yeah,
what
she was
that's what she
trained.
is?
Yeah.
And yeah, she practiced on some notes, some howls that I
Right.
had sent them, and she tried to imitate that howl. Okay, and she got out here, went close to the tree line right there and howled out. And after the second time, I mean, it just got nuts out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
Right.
got nuts. I mean, there's actual footage on Bud's channel of this event.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And it's something else to hear. To hear that thing come back, sound exactly like she put out
Yeah.
there. That was a great mimic catch right there, dude. Great mimic
But you had to
catch.
come
The
back.
whole
Great
compound
idea.
lit up that night. They were calling Flatrock on the phone, and they could hear it from the front.
Yeah.
He lives on, I don't know how many acres it is, and it's all behind a main gate. So when you come in there, it's one way in there, one way out, unless you go through the woods some kind of way.
Yeah.
And they were calling him on the phone because they were hearing howls by the up front, and just it was a lot of stuff went down that night.
I think that was the last night
Yes.
that she slept in her car.
That's the last weekend, I know
Yeah,
for sure.
I think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
Her battery went dead. That was another thing went dead that weekend. Her battery on her car was dead. I said, "You don't reckon them boogers could drain that battery, do you?"
but and
And I don't know if they could, but she couldn't roll the windows back up until she got it cranked off that Sunday to get ready to leave.
and she slept with her windows
Yep.
down, and she had this netting over her windows.
Just like black pantyhose. With this.
Yeah, and it was she was parked right across from our camper, and
Right behind Bud's truck, man.
right, and I put a recorder out on the table right there, and I would face it towards her, and she said, "Oh yeah, she was a light sleeper." I said, "Well, they were crawled all up on her. You could hear them walking around her. You could hear them whistling." And I said, "They're sniffing right all up on you." She couldn't get her windows up, so she slept with her windows down, and they were all right there. And hey, there's Greg. And
So I'd like to see that.
Broken earth.
Greg's on it.
Yeah. and they were all coming up all around her, and I had it recorded. I played it back for her. That was the last time she slept in her vehicle. She slept inside the camper from then on.
It was funny, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
she couldn't get her windows up. It's like it by design. And I could just see them mashing their head up against them pantyhose sniffing around there on her like
Yeah.
that.
And after she heard that
I tell you, you ought
howl,
to go check that stuff with grease and all over it.
Icebox, after she heard that howl come back, and that one scream right there in front
He
of her,
come by me in a whirlwind. It was
she
so funny.
said the same thing I said when I first seen my first one. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Now, Icebox, this lady, she's about 5 foot tall. She's an trained opera singer that's retired from it.
If she's even
And
5 foot.
So behind Flatrock's
Yeah.
house is completely dark when you get close to woodline. When you get out of the shadow of the night light, it's totally dark back there. So between me and him, we told her just keep on going to the woodline. So she goes back there.
Little further.
Little
That's
further.
what
That's
we
exactly what we
told her
said.
on the bus.
Keep going. Keep going.
And so we was just wondering, and then Flatrock, and between me and him both, she's that plumb out of sight back there next to the woodline. Something could have grabbed her and all that. But when she hollered, it took her she done one session, then the second session, I believe, is when they really got active.
Yeah.
And boy, she wasn't having none of that. She come by me. I walked back there. Was a bunch of us by the end walked back there toward the woodline to watch for her.
Yeah.
She come by me on a run. I mean, not running, but just about a run.
Running and cussing.
You felt the wind off of her, I bet you.
Yeah,
Oh, it was pretty funny. You can see that on Bud and Angie's
sure can.
yeah, Fun Adventures with
I
Bud
guess
and
I
Angie.
guess we're rotten that way, me and Flatrock, but it was just the way it went down.
Oh yeah. And Bud's filming all of it. I think
Yeah.
Bud was
Yeah.
filming
Angie
at that
was.
point.
I'm sitting there.
He was
I'm sitting there
filming
filming her do the call. I'm sitting there filming her doing the
Yeah.
call, and all of a sudden she starts around, go, woo. She's going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah.
It was
man.
rotten to do that to her. But she's
Hey,
so
she wanted to
game.
do it, so we got her have it.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, she's less than like 5 foot tall.
I'm gonna tell you though, Angie's the one who put her up to that. Angie's the one who throw her on the bus the most.
Just say
Oh,
it. Yeah,
Angie
blame
did
Angie.
that.
She's not
Angie
here.
did defend
You do a
herself.
different call. Don't think Angie didn't have her hand in that. She did.
Hey, watch
She
her
comes
do the
up with
thing
some
to
great
us.
ideas.
Watch her do the thing to us when we go camping at her house next year.
Right.
Gotta throw
Oh,
us
yeah.
under the bus up on
Right.
that mountain.
Oh yes. Yes.
Well, we'll probably
All right,
have to go somewhere else up down in that national forest away from there, but it'll be some good howls going on, I imagine.
Yeah, I probably would say so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Icebox, Jody just bought some property up on a mountain in Georgia
Uh-huh.
that is known to have activity all up there.
Mhm.
And she has bought some property up there and cute place. Just
So-
recently, I don't think she's moved in yet.
No
And,
neighbors, no nothing.
Oh,
Right.
You're probably an hour from that place you was talking about, that museum you want to go to
Yeah. Uh-huh.
there in Georgia.
that's
It
where
ain't
she's
that
at.
far from that. It's just a
Yeah.
little way.
Yes.
You tell her I'm gonna try to be there sometime next year. I need an invite. We'll
There
come
you
see her.
go.
We don't have to go do
willing.
something. We'd love to come see the property. Sure would.
The people that she bought the property from had 24-hour camera surveillance. Now that could be for people or it could be for something else. Because, I mean, you can see down the driveway, up on the porch. You can see out in the back.
If you're
when she
filming
posted
underneath the
stuff,
porch, you're not filming people.
No.
Right.
you see it. I mean, it's 4 cameras that's tuned all around that place, and it ain't there for the looks.
I don't think so either.
Mhm.
All right. Well, speaking of video, I'm going to try this, guys, and
Okay.
we'll see if this works. And now I may have to take y'all backstage, and I may have to redo some things. I don't know. But as a little tease, I'm going to show a few pictures of
Sure.
what I promised that we was going to show tonight. We're going to kind of set this up, Miss Pat, if you don't mind. This is a picture of what was going on that night. Is that correct?
Yep, that's
Yes.
the weather.
Yeah, that was the weather the weekend of the 15th of March.
Yep, that's
All
why I
them-
didn't go. That's why I didn't go there. Right there.
And
Mm-hmm.
you can look down there toward Flat Rocks. They had main cones coming up by him, and they had really solid going up through Bankhead from above Baton Rouge all the way to Bankhead, and all over north LBL.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all that big hail was reported coming from, Missouri and all that cut across just above us. We just was dang lucky. I put my location thing on there and scribed it on in with a pen and left it there. But it just did scathe where we was at. It went north of us. But it got
Okay.
seriously bad. A lot of fatalities that weekend.
Yep. I wanted to show that because all this kind of ties in together, and I know people are not realizing it yet, but what we're fixing to try to show you, you'll understand. All right, now this. Let me see. There we go. This is a segment of the film that we're going to try to show you tonight, and you can look dead center of what they saw. Now, what this is anybody's guess, but we're all going to take a shot at it here in just a few, because this is not just a still. This is just a little piece of what's on the film. There's your close up. This is something that y'all seen out in the woods, right?
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, what I really
That's another frame, or whatever you want to call it, whatever it is digital does nowadays.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, this part I didn't understand. Okay. And y'all can explain this picture to me.
That was during our recon. Bud is on the left. I'm on the right. I'm approximately 70 yards away You can see my cell phone in my hand back there. I'm taking the picture from the thermal camera from the truck. She's over at the truck, and I'm back there taking the picture with my phone. I'm watching the camera itself on my phone, and I'm able to snap a picture like that. Bud just stepped out of the lane, out of the way. That was one of the areas we thought we was really close to where the creature was, and
Mm-hmm.
because it's one of the few places you can see across the creek. I'm across the creek. The creek's about 6 foot deep and out just a little ways out in front of me. I'm across the creek and up on the hill on the other side. I went back and looked for elevations and stuff because in the original picture it looked like it's elevated coming down the hill. And the
Mm-hmm.
only place it could come down the hill is on the creek bank on the other side. You dropped off down in the creek, then kind of peeled off to the left, I guess it was, and then everything left going that way.
Okay.
We were going kind of like back into the wind, but the second picture was me and Bud. Was from the month to the day later. We went back. All three of us went back to recon what we could of the location and distance and try to
To
get an
try to
idea.
debunk what they was catching, to get the
That's right.
measurements and all
I'm
that.
10 hours
Icebox.
away. Bud's 7 hours away. Me and Miss Pat is, we're over 10. So it's not like we went down there for our health or nothing. It's one of these deals that
That
we
you got to
wanted
know.
try to get, we wanted to put in the effort to try to get the best we could after what we had.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna get to this right here. This was with no fog, correct? There was fog, wasn't it?
Yes, Bud, answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
fog.
fog, and I mean, from
Mhm.
in between the storms. I call it squirrels making coffee. You know how you look and you see fogs coming up out of the woods. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, from
And-
what I
and from
remember,
what I
that was a
had-
warm night.
I could see 30 yards. Yeah.
Mm. And that's going to play a factor in what we're going to see here in just a little bit.
Right.
It was
all that gray around that steel, the one that's way back there.
mhm.
That's that moisture in the air that you're really seeing. It's kind of like it's kind of shows gray instead of when me and Bud's taking the picture on the recon. It's 10 o'clock during the day. Actually, that's shot during daytime under a cloudy condition, but it was clear as far as no rain or nothing that happened. It was dry back there where me and Bud was. You were to see that much better, during the recon picture than I could during the night of the rain, and it was flooded back there where the creature was too. Bud could see the creek running back there. It was going down a creek is what it was doing, and if she give you any more pictures of it, it's way back from the road. It would never thought no ambient light would get back there from a car light.
Right.
They would never think it would be seen. We've been told people, well, there might be somebody back there. They were way too far back to draw somebody's attention if that was their idea. And they would have to know. I mean, it's just impossible to say somebody was back there just to try to pull a hoax and play a hoax on somebody.
And who's going to be back there in that kind of weather coming up?
Half it wouldn't because we didn't.
Exactly.
There's no way they knew what we were doing.
Right.
We didn't know what we was doing.
Right.
No
And
well they did.
Bud had, and the reason why I wanted Bud to answer that too is Bud had a flashlight, and Bud, I couldn't see it through the glass, but Bud had a great visual. He's out of the truck at this point, and he's shining a flashlight back there, and he stated there was fog. Now I couldn't see the fog. I just know that it was high humidity, and he's the one that's seen the fog around that creek. And he's the one that told us there was a creek there that confirmed it.
And the distance.
And
He
the
was dead on his
distance.
distance.
Yes.
Yeah, Stephen was the one that actually shined the light.
Okay. Well, you were right there with him, and
We
yeah, because
couldn't
you had
see
the
anything
thermal.
when the light was shining. Far as
Yeah.
if we wouldn't have had a thermal, you wouldn't have seen it. I don't think you would have seen that creature the way it was hid there at first if you'd have had a night vision. You could have located it with a thermal, then picked up on it, but you wouldn't have found it without the thermal. I don't think
Right.
it just was too well hid. Go ahead, Flatrock.
No, I was talking to Miss Crystal, just waving hello to Miss Crystal.
Oh,
Yeah, because Bud had Bud had a straight shot right there, and he could see a little bit better than we could, because he had the thermal at this point from me, and like I said, Stephen was standing right there as well, and he had the high powered flashlight. So Bud was able to give us more of a description of the landscape back in there, which helped.
And for folks that don't know, thermals, they pick up very minute temperature changes.
Yep.
Fog is a minute temperature change, so it does show up different than what, like you said, you went back. I'm gonna do it like this. Hang on, should show you the difference. There you go. I guarantee you there wasn't much fog here that night.
No, I was up
Okay.
during the
No.
nighttime. Actually, that's 10 o'clock during the day.
Yeah,
It
I just
says
changed
it
it
on
so you
the
can kind
top.
of see the difference. Is what I'm trying
Right.
to show here.
Right. That's a
Look-
screenshot of the
Go
film.
to your first picture that you just put up a while ago.
Okay, the first
Yeah.
one was this one.
That
Yeah,
one.
hang on.
That one there. That
Yeah.
gray that you're seeing in the air, instead of being
Mhm.
clean and crisp and looking across there, that's that moisture picking it up in that with
Mhm.
that thermal.
Yeah.
It's just distorting it. It's trying to pick up a heat signature, and that stuff is messing it up going across there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it picks it up, but Bud will tell you he had a thermal with a 160 whatever it is. Now that's done like it. If you look at the top, it's 10:17 a.m. and it's it was overcast, but that was it. That's at night there.
Let me
It's
see.
10 something at night.
almost 10:30.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the right signature. The date and all stamped on that deal. I just said it before we went
Mhm.
to where it would work.
Let's see if there's one I'm
And
missing.
also, it was between storms that y'all was dealing with up
That's
there.
on the. You
Yes.
see, that's on April 17th. On that, that was the almost to the day we was over there.
Yes,
Yeah,
and there
we-
was foliage on the trees at this point. There was no foliage on the trees on March 15th.
There was two big wads of greenbrier looked like there was the only thing that was holding any kind of really thick vines and whatnot of greenbrier.
Okay.
The rest of it
All
was
right.
pretty clean.
I'm going to try to show the video, and if it doesn't play, I may have to reset it. So I may have to take some folks back off stage so I can play the video. I don't know how it's going to work. You know what I mean? I've had to redo it several times. That's when we had some technical difficulties about coming on late. But we may have to do that. So I'm going to ask everybody to be patient with me, and let's see if this will work. I don't know. But if it don't, I'll give it another shot some other kind of way. And if it works, great. If not, now if I get it to work and I have to take everybody off, I'll play through all the videos, and then I'll let you guys come back on and talk about it. Would that be okay?
Certainly.
That sounds good.
Whatever you'd like to do.
All right. Let me see if I can do it.
You can
I
do
ain't
it.
promising
You can
nothing.
do it. Tommy, you got it. No problem.
All right. I'll bring you back on here in just a second. Let me see what happens. Okay. All right, guys, I got it back down. I don't know if this is going to work. This is the film that Angie, Bud, and Mr. Joe had recorded. So let me see what happens here. See if it'll play. And so far, no. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to delete that. And go ahead and delete these because I got about 4 of them. Now this one is up there, so let me see what it
I got
does.
it. Yes, it is. That's it.
Pull up a little bit when you can. Pull up with the thing a little bit.
Like that?
Yeah, a little bit higher.
Okay.
We must move up and make a difference. Let me move a little and see if you can come up with a better signature.
No, it's still there. No.
Okay, now that one apparently played. I'm gonna try to add some more here. That was the last one. Let me see if I can do this. I'm sure y'all seeing what I'm seeing. Let me go here. And let's see if it'll
Start recording. Start recording. Okay. 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 Okay, it stopped. Whatever it is, it stopped. I see it turning its head or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, look. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Zoom in. Zoom in. Hey, I'm being recorded and I'm cussing. What is that? What is that? Okay, back it back out. Back it. Back it back out. Back it out. Back me out, back out. Okay, this thing is watching us. It's looking at me.
That is the MA rated version. Guys, I left it that way. Me and Miss Pat and all of us talked about bleeping it, but I was afraid that y'all would think that I was manipulating something. So I left it as a raw video. We do apologize for the language, but that just tells you the realism and the how authentic the video really is. It is raw video. It comes straight from them. I did not touch it, didn't do anything. Uh, it is what it is. And I apologize if there are kids watching. You know, y'all all know I like to run a more of a family type show. And if, cussing happens, it happens, no big deal. But I do have the TVMA up there for this particular reason. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to try to do another one. Like I said, you guys can see what I'm doing. And we are going to go here and see if this plays. I'll let Miss Pat explain to us exactly what is going here. I'm supposing that this is a zoomed in. All right, let me get back over here. Okay, now I'm gonna let them explain something to you, Verax, here in just a few minutes. Let me see if let's see, there's 1, 2, 3 video. Let me add the next one before I bring them back on. And this one here. There we go.
I got it. Yes, it is. That's it.
Pull up a little bit when you can. Pull up with the thing a little bit.
Like that?
Yeah, a little bit higher.
Okay.
We must move up, make a difference. Let me move a little and see if you can come up with a better signature.
Now I'm gonna pause that right there for you guys just for a second, and I'm gonna back up some because what you're seeing, all right, and I'm gonna let Miss Pat and them explain everything. But from my eyes, from when I watched this film, and thank you, Miss Pat, for letting us watch it. And guys, there is something that's falling And we all agree that we believe this is a female, whatever. Okay. So let's go back here. Now, if you'll notice, I'm gonna back up just a little bit more. This one is where it actually moves. Okay. If you'll pay attention to where it's moving, and if you look behind it, you'll see another heat signature. We believe that there are 3 of whatever this is. Okay. I hope you got to see it. That's right, Henry. There looks like something is behind it. Okay. We'll let this finish out, and then we'll bring
No, it's still
our guest back
there.
on.
No.
All right. All right, let's bring on our guest. All right.
When you
Awesome footage, man.
Ain't it though?
Freaking awesome footage.
Ain't it though?
Well,
So
on
give us the whole laydown on this, Miss Pat, or either one of y'all. I don't care.
okay, well, where I'm going to go with this is what I filmed. Bud filmed the one where it's looks like it has eyes looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
I filmed the beginning. That is my mouth. I have a tendency to do that when I see something. But how about we just start with how we ran across it and tell the story, and
Please
that would
do.
probably help.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because when we do this as a sequence. Joe tells his part, I tell mine, and Bud tells his as well, because we all 3 had a big part in this
That's right.
as a team. It wasn't just like one person, it was all of us. But what I
Mm-hmm.
do want to say right off the bat, right now, is what we are doing. We are presenting this film and these clips. This is it. We filmed 16 minutes, over 16 minutes of film, and we are showing the clips. We chose not to have it stabilized because we didn't really care too much for the stabilization. We're
Mm-hmm.
not pros at this to start with. Plus, Joe was driving, and I'm behind Joe, sitting behind Joe, directly behind him, and Bud is sitting in the passenger seat. Now, Joe put his foot on the brake. The truck was running the entire time. We did not shut the truck off. So you're going to have movement
Mm-hmm.
from the camera as well, right there. And his foot was only on the brake the entire time. This vehicle was never shut off. So you're getting the vibration of the truck, plus all the adrenaline, plus us exchanging the cameras. And what we're trying to do, so we're sorry we can't make it clear. We wanted to make it raw. So it
Mm-hmm.
showed, we wanted to we wanted to present the evidence to everyone. Like I said, I've stated before, we're not here to defend ourselves for
No,
what we've
absolutely.
captured. We're not here to convince anyone of anything. We're here to present the evidence and people to make their own decision on what they believe that it is. We are just presenting what we captured. Instead of tucking it away for no one to see, we wanted to present that to the community and for people to see that.
Let me step in real quick. Uh, you'll notice the wording that I use while showing this film. Creature, cryptids, whatever. I'm not telling you guys what this is.
Right.
And I'm going to put my neck out there, and I really don't care because y'all guys know me. I really don't care. I'm gonna put my neck out there, and I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. But I want to hear other people's opinions, either from the chat,
Mm-hmm.
from you guys. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. That's why I put it out there. Whatever this is, because I'm trying not to make up nobody's mind up. till let them think about what they just saw. Okay. After
Right.
that, I won't put my opinion out there and let it be known. I don't care, whatever you want to say. But I wanted to leave it raw, and I
Mhm.
wanted you. I'm glad you explained what was going on because this is how it was taken. Don't think I would want it stabilized myself. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. I will give my opinion, but I'm leaving it up to you guys, the chat room, to kind of analyze what did you just see. Okay, so you go right ahead, Joe, if you want to go, and y'all go through your six
Well,
squid.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get something to drink because it's time for
Okay.
another. So y'all
you
go
missed
ahead. I'll
that
be
when you go?
go right now. Trust me, I'm
Okay.
listening, buddy. I have
Okay.
not missed a
Okay.
word
Okay.
all night.
Well, this part of the the film or the video, this was really about Bud getting to see the thermal. We had us a new thermal. We got it in last of January, 1st of February, and we'd been out working with it, and it was really doing better than we had, and it was a lot better than we had. So I was interested in seeing Bud get a look at it. Maybe he would be able to decide he wanted to get one, and I wanted to show him what it would do. And this was the last night we had a chance to do anything. The weather was kind of bad, in and out. It would be clear for a little bit, not it just would stop raining and wouldn't be too bad, but it was coming back, and we got to go out that night about 10 o'clock. And what me and Miss Pat got to doing, been doing it since we got the thermal, and that we got one we could actually see pretty good with. We just go out to National Forest and drive around real slow on back country roads where just gravel roads where there's nobody out hardly. And we watched the woods and the clear cuts and we're looking for whatever game or maybe we might get a glimpse of something. You just don't never know, a cryptid or something on the go. And so we replayed the same thing in our minds that night. We was going to go out while the weather broke, and we're gonna let Bud's gonna take turns at looking at the new thermal. Miss Pat was gonna run a new thermal, and all of us gonna play back through my phone because that's one reason we bought the thermal. It would Wi-Fi back to the phone, and I can run the adjustment on it and look at it. Me and Bud would look at it on the dashboard like whatever she's seeing, we're seeing at the same time. The quality of the eyepiece part of it was a little better than the phone, but not much. It's not much difference. And so we start our night out. We see just as soon as we get going, it's like 20, 30 deer in one spot. And it's just, they just gobs of game up around that place. And so we got on up the way, and Miss Pat's struggling the whole time as soon as we leave the camp till she swaps off with Bud. And then they're back and forth doing it. And you want to take on with it now?
Okay. What is Henry wants to know what it's AGM what?
The AGN 25 by 384 Rattler V2. I think rifle scope, not a handheld, but a scope.
4-wheel drive, yes, it is 4-wheel drive.
Was it necessary where y'all were? Not really. You could go without 4-wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't in no area that was so far remote down these roads. It rained so much we wasn't sure we could get off the road very far at all without taking a big chance.
We tried
And plus,
actually.
it was creeks flooded out on low water crossings in some of the places that we had been going, and we was not doing anything too special that night, but that we was going in a place that I had seen a lot of game, and I knew that we had a good chance to see a lot of game there, and he could get a good experience with the scope. I mean, with the thermal scope, way out, close up, whatever it may be. And we really just wanted to show off what the scope would do, and this was just a part of it. And we do boots on the ground and different stuff. We go out and do listening and not much calling, but we do a lot of listening. And we had private places we go. But this particular night, we were just out doing some thermal driving. Really, that's what we were doing. Nothing special. And I'd say we was in this area up in LBL probably has a way better average to see something like this than most places you go. But on the other hand, we wasn't expecting to see anything like this. We're not, I don't know, we're not dog men hunters or believers at the time, to tell you the truth. We just, that became a possible chance after we seen this film that it was trying to lead us down that road, and what we were seeing had ears. And that was
Crystal,
what,
we were all going on a camp out that they had canceled out there
right.
because of the weather.
Yep. Flat Rock was supposed to be there too. It was going to be, Bud had rented a place for 8, and we wound up having 7 because Flat Rock couldn't make it. And
Right.
it was 7 of us there camping together, and we was in the right place at the right time. It took lots of things going right for this to happen, regardless what people think of it. You know, it's raw footage. You're seeing it as what we've seen it, and you can go through it in your own mind to say, I'm gonna debunk this. What is this? I gotta debunk it. This can't be what it looks like it is. And I went through everything you could think of to looking for people's truck being pulled over, if it's somebody out there hunting, or just any kind of wild thought about how I could debunk this or make it something that, that's human. Or if it, like I said, if it ain't human, we got something really special.
Yeah.
If it ain't human, if it ain't got tennis shoes on, the actual words I used, we got something really special.
Can I say something real quick, Joe?
Yeah, go
Just
ahead.
over the footage itself. If it was human, Bud wouldn't have caught those eyes shining back at him when he walked toward that creek.
That's a very good point. I've even been questioned on there was no eye shine on some of it, but I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not an expert on this. And Verax, it was in LBL. It was in the middle of LBL is where it was at. But we should go into the story on how everything happened as we were driving along. Yeah. Okay. Yes. As we were driving along, and like I said, Bud was showing, or Joe was showing Bud the thermal, and Bud and I were switching back and forth. And there was a lot of game. We were in between storms. And we had saw a lot of deer. The deer had moved out to feed, several deer. And we saw coyotes. We saw them. They were in the middle of a hunt. And as we moved on down, we were in the back roads there, in a back road. And as we moved along and we turned the corner of this back road, it opened up a little bit. And what we did find out later not at the moment, that is cornfield right there. And there was a creek running along there that had a wood line run through it. And as we were making the corner right there, I saw an upright heat signature. It was rather big. Now, Bud and Joe could see everything that I saw on the camera. And I said, I've got something. So we were probably, I think Joe figured we were probably 150 to 200 yards away from the subject. So Joe sped up. We took off down there. And like I said, there's no leaves or foliage on the trees at this time. If there is, there's very little.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe scrub or whatever. So anyways, we come up on the subject. That's where you hear me say, start recording. The only thing I wish we had done is start recording from when I spotted the subject. Because I knew I had something at this point, because it was odd, because it was upright and it was rather tall and it was big. It almost looked like it was 2, but it was kind of like split. And it was moving, and we could all 3 saw it move. So as we sped up on it and we came up on it, you hear me say, start recording. And it appeared to me that it was standing behind like a scrub bush or whatever. And I guess the few seconds that we're standing there trying to figure out what it was. And like I said, the truck is never in park and his foot is just on the brake. It turned around and it squared up at us. You can hear Bud even saying that it's, this thing just turned around, squared up at us.
You could see
It
it.
was letting us know. It was letting us know it wasn't playing.
It was letting you know it. They know you're there.
Definitely. And if you're watching the film, and when it started out and it was turned more towards its right. But as you see the few seconds as it goes on, you see the slow increment movement that it ended up turning to its left as well. If you look, it's really hard to catch, but I've looked at this recording many, many times and spoke with Flatrock many, many hours on this as well, that everything was slow and very calculated on the movements, everything. And it even you didn't show the one video is where it put up its hand over its eyes or something. It put its hand up, and you can see its elbow, like it was blocking its face. Now, I have heard that before, that they will try and cover their face. Now, I don't know. I've never witnessed that before, but it was doing something. But like I said, everything was slow. Everything was calculated. And we were trying to document, and there is a lot of babbling in there. A lot of us, we said, all three of us said things that didn't even make sense at points in times, but we're just trying to process this. Bud's trying to process it. Joe is, I myself. And also I'm trying to keep an eye on this subject, because if this subject takes off, I am basically, I felt like I was responsible for our safety at this point, because we can't see this thing. It's pitch dark. It's black out there. We cannot see. And this is our only line of sight, is through this thermal that we're able to see this thing. So after like 10 minutes or so, Joe had cut the camera off, and what he had said that he was concerned about, when rolling the tape over or whatever, with it downloading it.
You might catch heck for the big file.
Yeah, with the big file. And so at that point, Bud said, I'm getting out of the truck. And I said, okay. So Bud got out of the truck to walk over and take the camera from me. Bud, what happened from there? Delay.
You guys have to excuse me. I've got 5 to 10 second delay. It's rough.
Okay. It's okay.
You're good, Bud. You're good.
I remember Pat quit filming, and because it stopped and just stayed there for a while. So she quit filming. Like Joe said, the file was getting too big. So we sat there and watched it 5 or 6 more minutes, and it just stayed there. So I told Pat, I said, hey, won't you hand me that thermal, and I'll get out of the truck and I'll walk that way, see if I can't flush it or make it move or something. And so I got out of the truck and walked around the truck and started out through that field. And I don't know, 3 or 4 steps into that field, I just sunk to my ankles in mud. And like Joe said earlier, we just planned driving around and thermaling, not getting out or nothing. So I just had on my little house slipper, slide on shoes, and it just sucked my shoe. I was like, well, this ain't gonna happen. So I stayed there and tried to film and check my 9 o'clock and check my 3 o'clock, and just to make sure there wasn't nothing coming from either side, and tried to keep the thermal on this thing, and zoomed in, and it was hard for me to stand there out in the middle of that field trying to, with it zoomed in. That's why it's so shaky. And then Steven came up and shined a light, and the light didn't do any good with all that mist and fog and sprinkling rain. And but the thermal I had, it wouldn't even show across that field. I mean, the thermal I had wouldn't go 30 yards, but that one Joe has is pretty good. But so I just
Now,
got back in the truck.
Bud, did you actually, when you was looking through that thermal, did you see it turn away from you?
I know. To me,
Or was you walking back toward the truck?
yeah, right. I think right before I turned to go back towards the truck, I think it turned either towards me or away from me. So
Yeah.
I don't know why. So I mean, I don't know what it was, but that's why we put it out there so everybody decide for themselves. You know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show.
Because it looked like when you walked up on it, it turned away from you, real quick. And like it was just hiding itself when you started walking up. It just turned its back on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Basically, it turned, and I don't know what it was trying to. I mean, I don't think they can see thermal. I mean, night vision they can. I mean, I proved that to Joe and Pat with the deer we seen.
Right.
As soon as I turned on my IR on the night vision, them deer, bam, just right now, seen the truck. They was 100 yards out in the field, and as soon as I hit the IR button on my night vision, boy, they right now. But
Mm-hmm.
thermal, I don't know if thermal puts out IR, does it?
No,
I mean,
no, it registers temperature degrees.
Yeah, heat variation. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't shoot IR.
But that whole encounter was probably what 25, 30 minutes. We watched that thing, Pat, Joe.
Yes, it was probably 25, 30 minutes total.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have a 10-minute video and we have an over 6-minute video. We have two. But when you stepped, right. But when you stepped out there, that's where you see the eye shine, where it's looking at Bud. It turned, it was trying to hide from, it appeared like it was trying to hide from Bud.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bud and Stephen. But what folks don't know too is there was 3 other people. They were in a different vehicle because we couldn't 3 more couldn't fit in the vehicle with us. And Stephen and Jody and Stephen's wife were also in another truck, but they had been a distance behind us. And when we were stopped that period of time, when they got to us, they stopped, but they couldn't see it. They had thermals too, but they were unable to see it. And even when Stephen stepped out, but they just sat there behind us. So there were 6 of us all together, but 3 of us were the only ones that saw it. The ladies stayed in their vehicle at that time. But it was hiding from Bud, which was very strange with it turning.
Well, it also shows intelligence
Yes.
to know to turn.
Yes.
Because Bud was walking right toward it. Now it could have turned it also when Stephen shined that light toward it.
Yes.
I mean, if that's when Stephen turned that, put that light on it, that probably could have been when it turned as well.
Okay, good point.
So it was in that moment.
Good point.
Yeah, we don't get to see that part. I know one thing.
The part y'all don't see,
Mm-hmm.
and Flatrock seen it because he's probably seen the whole thing. But every time somebody done something with the camera to look around or got awful movement, I mean, we moved it pretty fast or something. When you got back on the subject, he had done changed positions. Lots of times, we didn't actually catch him.
Yeah.
If you notice, like when he's getting ready to walk off, she sees the subject. She said, "Let's find us a spot to mark." And she's panning around quite a bit. And then when she gets back on, it's already done moved to that tree. And it's done turned position. It's done moved up. And just in front of it and down, or just a little piece in front and down, if you go back and play that, it's really the first one that you played, Icebox, but it's our last segment in a normal rotation.
Now I've got it still pulled up.
You'll see a white subject to the right of the main subject. It'll be down probably waist high to it. be a little ways in front of it. Then the big one comes across the back. So it's actually
was-
three.
Yeah, that's
on
what
that.
I was wanting
You
to
can see
ask you
three
guys.
signatures.
How many of you think was really there? Because I tried to
There's
show
three
that
different
second one
movements.
twice.
It's three moving at the same time. You slow it down.
Yeah. Like I said, we don't know. We were mainly focused on that subject itself,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like I said, when what was really strange is it turned its back to Bud. And he even said, you know, he made the comment that it looked like it put a, what'd you say, Bud?
He said it was something like he had a poncho on.
Yeah.
That's what Bud had.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like a thermal evasion suit. Yeah.
Right. Right. And
And Bud has all that Army training and
Mm-hmm.
that kind of warfare training where you can hide from thermals. And he's showing us in a poncho he had, I guess is what it was, Bud.
that he made. Yeah.
He had homemade when he made out of Kevlar, not Kevlar, but Mylar.
I've got an opinion about that too. All right. I wanted people to let me see if it'll show. All right. Let's just say.
Well, it'd be nice if it would.
Yeah, well I can, but I have to take it off and put it back. Well, let me see. Let me try it one more time. Let's see here. Had a scene.
Well, it turned its back to Bud. But what I do want to say is when Bud handed the camera back to me, and as soon as he got back in the truck, this thing turned back around.
I got it.
And showed itself again.
Yes, it is. That's it.
Can you stop it right there?
Sure can. You want to back up a little bit?
Yes, please.
Okay.
If you could stash Bud to the top somewhere in Flatrock, or
No, just go ahead.
Yeah, I can
All
go
right.
this way.
Okay, that's fine. That'd be
How's that?
great. That's great.
Okay.
You can look there to the right of the main subjects by the tree. It's a
Mhm.
little bitty short looking highlighted subject there.
Right.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
it.
And that's actually a little one.
Mm-hmm.
When that big one gets to that little one, all that's going to walk off together down to the big tree. And that big
Mhm.
signature is just off to the left, standing to the left of the main subject there that we originally seen. And that big one's going to cut left to right, and just stay on a perfect line across there pretty much. And it goes behind the tree, then it disappears up kind of at a diagonal up from that big tree up the riverbank. I mean, the by bank or whatever it is there, creek bank. But that little white signature is actually a small one.
I
When you
kind of like
start
it.
it, and when that big subject the middle subject gets to it, it's all
Mhm.
going to walk off together.
Yeah, you're talking about from what I'm seeing in this particular frame here. You see the left one standing right there, but looks like it's got almost a tree in between it and that little one right in
Yep.
front of it. And what
Mhm.
you're saying is going to walk
Correct.
from here to there, and you follow it. I mean,
It's
in the
going
film,
downhill to meet up with that little one's what it's doing. I
But-
couldn't figure out why it wanted to come to us. Normally, something wants to get away would walk
Mhm.
away from you,
Away.
get away from you, or peel off and just go straight away from behind a tree like many deer do, or
Mhm.
you know how things they wouldn't. I said, well, if she's coming to us or whatever it is coming to us, she's just drawing our attention for something else to get out of there, maybe. But it took forever for me to see that little signature.
Oh, I
Slow
see
it
it.
down, you see two sets of legs walking off together.
I mean, you can only imagine it in this shot here, of course. But I see what you're talking about. Just past that little tree, that the left
It
side of
starts
it, it's
about his
right there.
kneecaps.
Yeah.
It's about even with what his kneecaps would be if he had kneecaps.
Yep. That's what I'm looking at too. It's just kind of like a little
Mhm.
white dot, and you kind of see a little figure there.
Little
But what
old-
amazes me, because I could never really pick out the third one as much, but I believed it. But when it starts walking toward that bigger tree that you see on the right,
Mhm.
you see something else back there behind it. It's just you don't
That's a
get a
good
full.
size bigger too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's got some shoulders on that one, whatever it is.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can get to it.
Like that?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Did y'all see that too? Let me see if I can get right
Something's
on
going
that.
on. It's business going on there in a lot of them shots that we ain't even calling out. But it's a lot of things going on.
Well, I just seen that what you was talking
It'd be,
about.
it'd be really nice to have a great expert, to have an expert to look at this.
Yes, it would, and I'm not him.
I know.
Trust me.
That's our
Trust me.
problem too.
Like that?
Man, I wish, yeah, you can see it just a little
You see
bit
the
better.
outline of the little one now pretty good right there in that one
Yeah,
second of that shot.
You
yeah,
see
and
the big,
just before it kind of flashes just a little bit harder. Now, what are we looking up there in the corner, left-hand corner? Is that something
right.
else or just?
It could
Yes,
be something else, but for
it
sure,
is. It is.
but for sure, where the main subject is in the middle, if you look off to the left there, I'm going to say an inch. It's one little bitty spot over there. One little bitty spot's about where across from his decap, maybe, but it's to the left of it,
Hmm.
about an inch. It's one little lighted looking spot. That spot's going to take off, and that's going to turn into be that big sap sucker that's cutting
Yeah,
across.
yeah.
Now, the one up high that you see, I don't know what that supposedly is there, but
Well, with
it
thermal,
takes off. That little spot's going to materialize into being, where we can see a good thermal of a big creature making it across that hill to, paralleling that hill to the big tree.
thermal is funny. It picks up stuff, and I can go out here and I can feel my rocks. They'll be hot.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of
Mhm.
funny, but what you're trying to do is put your figures together. It could be something up there in that left hand corner. I see what you're talking about down there on the right, down around the kneecaps, just in front.
You'll
All
see that walk off too.
right, let's watch it.
Okay.
All
See
right, I'm
that
gonna
little
stop
one
it.
just ahead of him. Here comes the big one behind the tree you're talking about.
Yeah,
See that
yeah,
lighted spot on that 45-degree looking tree?
yeah. I'm gonna back it up just a hair. Okay, that's probably too
That's
much.
great work. You see the two sets of legs coming down toward the big tree?
At this point right here, the little one's already behind the tree.
No, it's right in front
You
of him.
sure? Let
Yeah,
me see.
the two little white looking deals, that's his little legs sticking
Okay,
down.
you talking about right? Okay, I see what you're talking about. Let me back up a little bit more.
Watch close right there.
All right,
I might be wrong, but that's what I thought I was seeing when I was looking at it.
all right. Let me stop. I'm gonna back up even further than that because I want people to see what's behind.
I'm glad you're doing it this way because a lot of people hadn't thought it this way to show people. I wanted people to look at it at home and take their time once they got the
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Okay.
But I'm gonna stop right
See
there.
right there, you can see the little one and the big one together.
Yeah, right there on the right. And I'm
Hmm.
trying to catch the flash. Let me see. This is three.
The real big one's already got to that middle tree by now.
Yeah,
It's
it
coming out
is.
behind that middle tree.
I'm trying to jump it just a little. So give me a little patience. It needs to probably go to there. All right. Okay, you see it just somewhat. I mean, when it's running, you can see it pretty good right
You see
there
it
in the
better when it's
middle.
running, don't you? I thought
Yeah,
so.
yeah. When it runs, you can see it better, but you don't catch it. But just a little quick little glimpse. You know what I mean?
It's
But
almost
you'll.
like it's better if you could hide that other one and just look at that one little spot in the woods. Your eyes
Mhm.
catching both of them, it takes away from it.
Yeah, let me back it up and replay it. So you can see it back here now, and you can see it continuing.
See right there, you can see his legs coming, walking right before he gets. Now he's already gone up the hill off that big tree. He's going up at a 45, quick,
Yeah,
fast, and hurry if it's the same one.
yeah. What I'm seeing here, all right,
Hmm.
all right, boom. There's the little one is starting to move right there.
Yeah, it's already moving.
Yeah,
That's the
because
time that it's going to be. It has to catch up with him coming down that hill, and it does it pretty quick.
yeah, because right there, I won't back it up. Let's say 15 seconds. Let me go to 14. All right, right there is fixing to move right there. Once I hit play again, it's going to go to
Mm-hmm.
the right. The thermal is going to move to the left, which kind of cuts it out.
Now, I couldn't tell you for sure icebox, but I believe they're walking into the wind the way they're going.
There
Yeah.
it went. Did you see it take
Yeah,
off?
I see it. I
It's
see
just
it.
a millisecond, but that little one takes off, turns and starts off before the other one gets to it.
That's right.
All right, now let's.
Joe, if y'all send me that clip, I can slow that down for you.
Okay. Will do.
And you'll see it, that big sucker right there at that tree.
Mm-hmm.
It gets really, you see it pretty good the last couple steps before it goes behind that tree.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And if it
the
ain't
big one
two
is
of them, it's very big compared to the middle one.
now you see that lighter color right there in the center of the screen up just a little bit. That's that big one.
Yeah.
That's the big one. Yep.
If it ain't two of them, it's very big.
No, there's 3 of them now. Now that you finally,
No, I know. If it ain't two of them side by side walking off, it's a very big subject.
I'm gonna put it to you like this from what I'm saying. And like I said, I don't care what anybody thinks. It's my own opinion, anyways. I believe that big one was beside the one that was looking at you, and the female was up front. And when she decided to move, going with the younger one, that's when the bigger one was kind of moving more at an angle, maybe up a hill. I don't know this terrain, y'all do, but that's when the big one started moving. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 6-foot drop down into
There you
that
go.
creek.
You see 3 moving. Now, once that big one gets behind that big tree, it's kind of hard to see what's
No,
going
it's
on
still
with him.
there.
And when Miss Pat's saying
Yeah.
that,
No,
it's one of them clears the tree
Let
pretty
me ask-
late.
Yeah.
But-
let me ask y'all something. Where do you think they went after they
You
got
know,
behind that
Flatrock,
Good
tree?
question.
that land appears to be more elevated than what it is. It was just a
Yeah.
spoil bank in a creek. And I don't know, when we took the original picture, Miss Pat's looking, she's behind. Then Bud gets up higher because he's standing up 6 foot tall. So he's even higher, but it still looks like it's up above us a little bit in that film. When we go back to take it, you notice us, we look like we're downhill from where she's taking the picture. Now, unless there's elevation in the road, lower or something, I never noticed it being Bud walked over on that bank. It was some small banks, but it's pretty flat across there.
Mhm.
We didn't have to go
Well,
up. We didn't have to go up.
I've looked at a
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I've looked at a lot of footage, real and unreal. I've looked at a lot of them, and you see a lot of these things get behind a tree. They go straight to a
Mhm.
tree. Get behind it, and from then on, you don't see them no more. Do you think they're using those big trees to hide their getaway? Once they get to the tree, they're using that tree as a blind light to shoot back behind. Get further away from you. You think they might be doing that?
I've
Well,
seen deer do
it
that.
could be thicker what we think, because
Yeah.
we'll have to go back and look at that area again. But I know one thing they did. They kept the water between us and them the whole way for us to stay
Mhm.
behind the creek.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, both of y'all, I'm just saying, it wasn't no peace. Bud can tell you, me and him both walked there, and you're in the field if you go back just a little too far. It's fell out, the creek's fell out between the splitting fields up because it's down in the, LBL has throughout the whole place. It has old farm places that's down along the creek, but it's flat and probably fertile because you couldn't hardly do anything in hills big as steep as they are. But the things walking the creek,
I agree with you there, Brian. That this footage is going to be studied for a very long time. It's actually the first thermal to basically ever to come out of LBL, and that in itself tells you a lot right
Mhm.
there,
I could put off being somebody over with one person, but what about 3 people with a youngin together? And if that big subject is 7 foot tall or better, then ain't no human being can meet that stipulation.
Well, and that's why we tried to show. We're trying to put a chain link together
We're
tonight.
trying to we're trying to get
Yeah.
that all together. You're right. That's I'm glad you're doing it the way you're doing it. It's
Yeah, that's
perfect.
why I had Bud and Angie come on first, and then of course we had Flatrock, and then we had you guys and let you reminisce, and now we're talking about the video. It all kind of come together. That's what I was trying to attempt to tonight.
Nobody's
but
done it that way.
I
Nobody's
will.
trying to play it back and forth and let people see what you're without telling them just you need to go home and stuck, run it in slow mo, you'll see it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to, at the end of the show, I'm going to play all 4 pieces without me saying a word. That way people can go back, rewind, whatever they want to do. If there's a particular part of a video y'all want me to try to do this same material, we will do it before then. But right now, what I'm going to throw out there, I want the chat room to give their opinion on what they think this is. And I'm going to show you the picture. And then I'm going to ask each one of y'all what you think it is. And I don't care. Just voice your own opinion. But I do have a question for Miss Pat after we get done. Yeah, I'm going to put her on the spot. But I'm going to tell you what, guys, this is something I'm really impressed by. Because when you said that where
Yes.
this was at, in one of the videos, you actually catch a glimpse of those weeds right down there at the bottom. And I
Mhm.
did not notice it until I seen this picture.
That's
Then when I
corn
watched-
stalks. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then when I seen the video a while ago, I caught a glimpse of it. I said, they're in the right spot. All right. Let's see here. That's a far away
You
shot.
see how that thing looks downhill from
Mhm.
our trajectory? I mean,
Yeah.
it might be the way the picture's made, but it looks like it's kind of downhill from us a little bit.
Sure.
I don't think we're far enough back, and I think it's actually further back than what I was.
Well, now that one was taken right after Bud got back in the truck. When it turned back around, when I guess it felt safe that Bud it could see whatever Bud was doing apparently, but it turned back around and faced us again as soon as Bud got back in the
I've
truck.
never had a thermal that
Which
we've
is
had
weird.
that would show dark and white that far away. Most of the time, you get a thermal of a regular creature, it's going to be a white outline, unless something's blocking it or something, and it usually blocks it completely out. Well, that's a whole different thing. Whatever it is,
Well,
it thermals and all kind of different stuff, different than regular animals do around here.
all right. I'm going to show that one. And I mean, we're already getting suggestions about what people think it is. I'll leave that up there for a
You
second.
know what
If you'll notice,
I have to agree that thing has boobies. I have to agree with that. I mean, that looks like breast.
no, not to me. It doesn't. Not to
Okay.
me.
It
But
does.
that's
me.
okay.
Now, I'm going to show this blowed up
We
version.
called it breast for a long time, Flatrock. Don't let her kid you.
Yeah, he knows that. They all did.
Yeah, we all went through the Nile, and every day was a new day of looking at this thing. It took months to see some of the stuff, and we still ain't seen it all. But
Yeah, there's still more detail to come out of this.
Oh,
video.
absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
there's a lot to learn. That's why we wanted it out there. Now another thing is too about it being a human too. If you'll notice, when Bud was taking the one film, when he was out of the truck and the thing was standing sideways on that clip, and you could see the eye sockets and the eye shine off of that. That's eye sockets that you're getting the heat signature from. Look how big that head is, and
Yep.
that head is huge. No human has a head like that, and there's a heat signature on its stomach. It's carrying something.
Yeah. Well, when we go back out there, at the
we
end
can't
of the
show you
month,
Flatrock.
let's when it gets around that time, 10 something, whatever, don't matter where we're at, we don't gotta be in the same place.
Right.
We'll set ourselves up like Bud's walking toward it, how big that head is, and compare it to my big head.
I don't know if that's going to be a fair comparison.
It'll show the difference between a human head and that head.
That
You
head
can
is
see
huge.
plainly mine and Bub's caps, his glasses on his face, my phone, the outline of my shirt, my cap, in different pictures. I turned and tried to do what the creature was doing, was my arm hanging out to the side a little bit. I tried to do that for her to get the picture from the truck, to try to see what different things was, and it just don't. I just, if we'd have had the same quality of Nite if we had in the second filming, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know if I'd want to see it, but I tell you what, I'm gonna tell you this, Icebox. we've had people, scare us to death with the get burned phones and don't talk about it till it's all good and everybody's ain't gonna be no trouble with nothing. And we've had people say that, be careful, the black people gonna be here next week,
The letter
to,
people.
yeah, the people in black gonna take you to your damn Social Security. Here you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna have nothing. And we've had everything kind of run across us, and we went a lot of places to try to talk to a lot of people since we started in on this thing. And this, we went to quite a few folks, and a lot of them was dead trails. There's no doubt. We went in some places we thought we could get help, and really was not, what we thought. But
Nobody
we've
wants
done
to
our
touch it.
best right now with what we had to work with to give everybody best we could. And people
I
that
know.
really do this probably ought to know that these things don't go out there, and to have any opportunity is good, but have an opportunity of to have a portrait of one is not going to happen. You're just not going to have
No.
that quality of something in most cases. It just don't happen.
This is
I
what I
can't
call.
explain it, but it
Another
don't.
good thing.
This is the best footage.
Another good thing,
Yes, sir.
Icebox. Another good thing of why these people are so great at what they do. They didn't go throw it right off the bat on the internet.
No.
Say, hey, we got a dog man or a Bigfoot.
No.
They waited until they debunked and got measurements before they put that footage
And
out. That's what researchers
and
do,
they
not just people who just throw stuff up there. Hey, I'm a researcher. That don't
no
work.
they
You go out there and you do what these three right here did.
We
Spend
tried our best,
hundreds of
and we got
dollars,
more work to
drive
do with it.
6 hours one
yeah.
way
Yeah.
just to do just one little thing, and then drive 6 hours back home. 7 hours for one of y'all, ain't it?
It's for Bud, and we're 10
We
hours.
stayed there. We
Yeah.
stayed there what,
Yeah.
1 or 2 days, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
remember. On the recon trip, it was like 2 days
Yeah.
or 2 nights
Yeah.
in the thing, wasn't it? Wasn't it 2 nights we was there? Because we drove straight up there and straight home, I want
Yeah.
to think. And so,
And that costs a lot of
Oh, yeah.
money. That costs a lot of money to do that.
I
But
mean,
yet
I
they
just
did
thought it
that so
was,
they can debunk their
Uh-huh.
footage, so they can be accurate at what they're telling
Well,
people. And that makes what a real researcher
not only
does.
that's what
that,
all
Flat
we're
Rock.
trying to do.
Yeah. Not only that, did they go back and do the recons and try to do debunking?
Mhm.
They ran it through their peers, people that they trust,
Mm-hmm.
that could run through it and have some kind of educated opinion about it. That's what I like.
Right.
They're not out here trying to be the next Patty film and all this kind of stuff. But I'm gonna say
Exactly.
this, and I started saying this a while
Exactly.
ago. It is the best thermal I have seen yet of some kind of creature out there in the woods. It ranks
Yep.
up there with, and you know me, Flat Rock, I'm partial. It ranks up there with
Yep.
that video that you showed with me that one time walking in your yard, and I'm just amazed. But guys, y'all done a great job on it. Really did.
We tried.
All right. Have you got it?
And that's why I like these.
Oh,
That's why I enjoy these guys when they come to my house
I
And
every
we
can
year.
see it.
learned a lot
You
at Flat
know,
Rocks too, because we have snoozed at Flat Rocks. We could have backed each other up way better than we did some of the times there, and we had to learn the hard way to try to get the best equipment you could get. It's never
Yeah.
going to be good as something that somebody else suggests, but I mean they ain't living on our budget, y'all.
That's right.
This is a very expensive game to play.
It is.
Very expensive. Now Bud just got him a new camping item, and that goes right along with just like
Right.
buying a new thermal or whatever. That's a very expensive part of his stuff he's putting together for his
Adventures.
stuff he needs. We
yep.
to make it better for him and his wife. It's very expensive.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody can run around and talk all they want, but go fit the bill on some of these guys' stuff if
Oh,
you
yeah.
want to do something.
All right.
See, I just put out $2,000 myself on a thermal, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
thermal. I'm
That
proud.
You
thing
probably
made it
got
gold, ain't it?
$10,000 worth of thermal altogether, though, had you? That's probably $10,000 you had them all together.
Yes, sir.
Bud, did you
Yes,
get
sir.
your thermal yet?
I'm sorry.
No, I asked Bud if he got his thermal yet.
Oh, okay.
No, he ain't mentioned it. I don't believe he's got it.
Oh,
Your thermal.
no, not yet.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you
They give
got
them
it or
away
not.
at
Yeah, not yet.
Walmart.
I'm scared to ask.
They
How much?
give them away there, bud.
But-
Just go ahead and
Walmart.
put in for them.
All I've got is just
Yeah.
a little.
I'll just talk to my sugar mama.
Yeah.
Remember the last gun she bought you? The last
No,
gun
don't
you got,
remind
you couldn't
me.
kill nothing with it but flies.
I like this. Oh, my wallet moths come out. Yeah, that's me too, buddy.
Yeah,
That's me
very
too.
true. Very true.
Well, they don't
I
realize
mean-
we're not financed. I'm not.
No.
That's why
No.
I come on here and do what I want to. You know, nobody pays me, but I can't afford
Mhm.
the scope that you got, the thermal scope. I probably can't afford it. I probably can't afford
I tried to
anything
buy
that you guys
something
got.
to do.
Sir?
I tried to buy something I could use if I would
Yeah.
really put on a gun and had to give me dual purpose. It's hard to take that kind of money and buy a thermal and then leave it in the case just but when you Bigfoot. It's
Mhm.
hard to justify it for any of us that has to live on, on a set amount of monies and stuff.
Right there is my most important tool. Right there. And
And they
I
don't
can
give
do,
that away.
yeah, I can do these shows on it right now. I can come on, I can do remotes, but it also does filming, so I can film interviews and everything else, walks in the woods, stuff that I can have fun with. And it's my thermal. I've got a little thermal attachment to it. You guys seen it on my show a time or two.
I
That
think you
shows
said something
thermals.
about it.
Yeah, and it might not be the best quality per se as the thermals that y'all have, but it's got a double use and it does the job.
That's
It
all you
is.
can do. Do
Yeah,
what
it's
you
all
can
it can do. Whatever money you can, that's great. But I wished I had the money to get the equipment that y'all guys got. But I'm like you, it's got to have a dual purpose. Got to.
Well,
For me.
that's how you justify it. Now we try.
It
We
don't
try
take
and
it
justify
don't
it.
take a big old bass boat to catch fish. It just takes somebody who wants to go fishing to catch fish.
Yeah,
But I mean,
exactly.
it costs to play these games like this, whatever it is you want to call it. It's expensive. We were lucky to have the quality we had, just enough to get past
Yeah.
and get the picture we got. We were running around with a 160 grade unit, and it's okay for 25, 30 yards in good weather conditions.
Mhm.
But we've learned so much more by having one a little bit better or a lot better for that one.
Yeah.
Than the first one we got. That it's stuff out there we never seen with the other ones. We couldn't even see with the stuff we see nowadays. It just
Oh.
it's almost like you look to the bottom of a Coke bottle or something, compared to what we got now. The other
Right.
one was.
Right.
It's just that like you had glaucoma all the time or something.
Well, we made a lot of mistakes. We know
And we
that,
continue to do that.
but
Sure.
we're learning as we go. We're trying to show the folks what we've caught,
Mhm.
and maybe we could all learn something from the footage.
Absolutely.
One thing I have learned through all of this, that when you catch something like this, people really don't know what to do with it.
They don't.
No. Bud can tell you he searched, tried to pull in help too. Everybody tried to pull in help on anywhere from getting it stabilized. If that was the route we wanted to go, who you could trust to look at it or to get advice from. Where do
Mhm.
you go from here? How do you get it out there? There was like a million questions, but first we had to get back out there and recon. And due to the weather, that was going to be difficult. And it took us a month. Everything was flooded. We had a heck of a spring this year. And we have gone through ridicule. We're going to continue to. We have, but surprisingly, other than a few podcasters that want to say things, that's fine. You go right ahead. unless you know the story. But we're out here to try and better ourselves and inform the public and do something with it, to do something good with this film, not tear it apart. And tear it apart. Go ahead, but ask the questions. Don't make up your own story.
I thought science could actually use
That's
it
right.
myself, but
And-
that's just me.
But the thing is that's the thing. We can all learn from this film. And we have had a lot of positive. On a channel, we have almost 90,000 views on this in 2 weeks. And most of those comments are positive. So that's hope. I chose really in the beginning, I had to look at them for a little bit to see what the response was. And I'm good with that, with anybody saying anything. But if we could all come together as a community and work on it together and try and learn something, and instead of who's got the best film or who's got this, who knows more, who doesn't know more, we could all probably get somewhere.
Yeah. I totally agree. I do. That's why.
What can we learn? What can we learn? That's the thing.
People ain't science to this. The subject should be the matter, not the people as much. In other words, if they're really interested in the subject, why don't you look at it for the interest? How many people's got film of anything with 3 different size group animals together, no matter if they're cows, calves, or Bigfoot or Dogman? I don't know. I'm just saying, you might learn something if you look at it that way. But if you want to say, well, it ain't perfect, you can't see this, you can't see that. Well, that's a lot of things. You can't see. It's a lot of things out there that we can't answer all the questions to, but they run in together. It's a reason why that creature didn't leave there like we thought it would. It's a reason for that. It had responsibility.
Yeah.
It had to control uncontrollable, or not say uncontrollable, but it had little ones to take care of. And we don't know if that's the only ones was there, but I got, we have opinions that probably might have been more creatures there than that. But it's a reason why in normal situations, the thing would have got out there before we ever got the truck. This is why I never took my foot off the brake, because I didn't figure it was going to be there but a second.
Right.
Yeah,
why didn't it leave?
Yeah.
It had an out.
All right, let's do this. Joe and Pat, and I want you to go in this kind of order, because guys, it's about that time for me. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Tell us what you thought, what you really think this is, and why did you get such a extended time? Let's go that route, okay? Of filming this creature, okay? Just what you think. It ain't got to be right or wrong. I just want to know your opinion of what really you think happened. We'll go to Bud after that, if I should be back by then. And then we'll go to Flatrock, because I really want to hear Flatrock's opinion on this too. And then I'll tell you what I really think this is and what happened. And it's just my opinion, okay? But by the time you get to me,
we all have different opinions.
I'm just going to camera myself out. I'll be able to hear you. Go ahead, y'all tell people what you think, and afterwards, we need to get to Flatrock's audio, because I really want people to hear this audio. They're gonna love it. All right, Miss Pat and Joe, y'all go right ahead, and I'll be right back. I'll just camera out, and I'll be back with you in just a minute.
Well, Bud, you go first. You can.
It don't matter.
Wait a minute, whose show is this? No, Bud.
He has a talk. He has a talk.
Yeah, he has a talk. Go ahead, Bud.
It's on a delay.
What, my opinion?
Yeah.
No.
Remember
Let's
what
start
I
off
said,
with the
good,
first
better,
part of
ugly,
it,
just give
and
you a
then
good
go to what you
opinion.
think now.
When we was filming it, we didn't really realize what we had. Like Joe and Pat pointed out to me a week or two later, that there was more images there, and because I was focusing on the main image, and when they pointed out there's 2 or 3 other movements, I was like, wow, there is. But
just what it is.
I mean, I can't say what it is. I got an opinion of what it may be. but
Same thing.
there's no way it could have been a person, not in that weather conditions. There's no way.
That makes the
I
least
mean,
amount
there
of
was one
sense of it all.
tornadic storm went by. And,
We've heard everything.
what's that, Joe?
So that makes the least amount of sense of all that it being a person. I want, and mind you,
Yeah.
we all sitting here.
Yeah.
And in my mind, the whole time I'm thinking, how am I debunking this crap? This can't be what we think it is. And I mean, as soon as it comes off the reel, we get back home. I'm saying, you what I, some of it to you and some of it to Flatrock, and he's coming back saying this and that. Well, it's no doubt. When I first seen it, I said it looks like something comes up by the side of his head, goes back down, or the image changes. I said, I don't know what this is, but it appeared to have ears sticking up. It appears to have ears. Now, whether it's a Bigfoot, looks like a dog man looks like Bigfoot, but I'm just saying, in my thing, as long as it ain't got tennis shoes on, we got something unique. We got something different. If this ain't a human being out there, then it don't matter what it really is after that point, because you're gonna cut off the main thing of all these different kind of deals. Is it a human made type stuff, or is it real and it's some other kind of creature? Now we over that some other kind of creature if it's not a human. It don't matter what kind it is really. It's upright. The first thing she says, and same thing we've seen, it's upright. Most all creatures in the woods walk on 4 legs. That's the image you get of that back.
Yeah.
We look for every day in the deer woods. We're looking for the image of that back walking behind the fence or walking through the woods. When you see that, that's what you're watching for. The outline of that back coming through. Or flash or move or something. But when you see upright figures, 9 times out of 10, it's going to tell you it's on 2 legs, whatever it is. We first see it. I mean, it's like, duck, chicken, all of a sudden it's sticking out like a sore thumb. That ain't supposed to be there, but it was.
Yep.
Was we supposed to catch it? Probably was, because God let us catch it. But it took all kind of people. I want to tell people this. It took all kind of things, stars to line up for this to happen the way it did.
Yeah.
It was all kind of reasons for us never to be there. If we'd have had a dang outing and we'd have been over at that. If we'd have been there for just the outing, we wouldn't have been in the woods stumbling. So that would have been, took that part of it out. If we hadn't, got together and said, we're going last night, we wouldn't have had it, we had to do that. Y'all had to commit to coming. It was all kind of things had to line up for this to work. And it just, luck of the draw, whatever, the weather being the way it was. We've been told they move in the weather like that a lot of times before, during, and after. Which we knew they'd yard up the deer wood. Well, using the thermal when it was cold. Or they move before, front, or after, front, or, different pressure systems.
Bud, real quick. A question there from Henry. Did y'all cast tracks? I already know the answer, but tell them why y'all wasn't able to cast tracks.
No.
He asked Bud the question.
It was about a month later before we could make it back. And by then, between all the flooding and storms and rain and leaves, and there just wasn't. I mean, we found, might have been, we seen something that looked like an imprint, but it could have been anything. But it was in that general vicinity. So, but we didn't see no definite prints or cast none. Yeah.
Y'all want my opinion now? I'm gonna say, at first I said Bigfoot. That was my straight out answer, because I never believed in dogmen, all right? Never have, but I got questions now, is there, because that's a hell of a thermal y'all put out. But I can't say with 100% that it's a Bigfoot. I can't say it's 100% dog man or dog woman. But I can say, and Miss Pat and Joe know this, I can say with 100% that is a cryptid and not a human.
Okay. So y'all want to know my opinion?
I agree with you.
I
All right.
agree. But this is what we agree
That's
on.
all we could ask for. It not be human.
All
It's
right.
not human.
From what I gathered, and guys, I'm what you call common sense and reasoning. I'm not no expert at all. Y'all all know who I am, and people that hang out with me, they know my opinions. I believe Bigfoot is an animal. Period. Uh,
Hmm.
some kind of an animal. I don't know what, but I look at what y'all presented to me. All right, and what I showed tonight is this kind of stuff. The weather. Now, who in the world in their right mind, outside a couple of people out there at LBL, out riding around in the rain
With
and
nobody
running
there.
through the breaks, just out there having fun, is going to be out there in them woods walking around? They are in the woods. They ain't out there in the field. They're not in the on the road. You'd have to be plumb nuts at three of them with a young one running out there in them woods like this. Okay. So that to me pretty
Yeah.
much counts out any kind of a human, like you said, with tennis shoes a while ago. So, what do I think this is? Yeah, I believe it's some kind of cryptid, like Flatrock said. But now here is where everybody is looking at, okay, is it a Bigfoot? Is it a dog man? I hope it ain't a dog man. I don't want to believe in a dog man. Okay. That is just a dangerous creature to me from what I've heard. But I tell people it's best to learn your enemy in case you do run across something like that because you do hear the rumors. I, so I don't want it to be a dog man, to be honest with you. But here's my point of view here. That is a female to me, no doubt. Look at the hair.
No
All right.
doubt.
Look at the hair, how it comes over the shoulders. Look at the arms. Okay. Look at the face. Now you got to remember you're using thermal, which is pixelated. Okay. So when you look at it this way, what can it be? Well, the first thought that's going to hit your mind is a female Bigfoot. Okay. Now look at
Yeah.
this one. This one is so heavily pixelated. That little glare that you see up there that looks like ears, I believe it's just pixelation. Okay, that's my honest opinion. I'm not trying to avoid the dog man at all, but that to me is just what that is. It has got it so distorted that you can't really make it out. The heat signatures could be the jawline. I've heard, I've talked to other people about it, and they think it could be anywhere from a possum to a cow. I don't believe that at all. Okay, so I'll go back and
Mm.
refer to this picture. If that's not, in my opinion, honest opinion, what you're looking at is a just above a juvenile female that's had a young one, okay, and there is a male walking with her, protecting them per se. You might say that. And they got caught because they were out moving around because of the storms. They seemed a chance to move just like you guys did, and that's what they were doing. They were moving from one spot to another. That's my honest opinion about it. Yeah, they seen you guys, and uh, you just happen to be in the right spot at the right time, and I am proud for you guys. I know what you're doing, but my opinion, this is just like I said, it is a mama just above a juvenile that had a young one. Y'all caught it at the right time, moving between storms. I don't believe it's a dog, man. The pixelation just bothers me. If it was more like ears and you could see it doing this or something, maybe I might would think about that. But my opinion is just a female Bigfoot with some young one and an older male with it. That's my opinion. Okay.
Yeah. Can I say
Oh,
one other
absolutely.
thing right off
Sure.
topic about people calling this thing a possum or a
Hmm.
cow? Please, if y'all see one, please catch it and sell that thing to me so I can go join the damn circus and make a hell of a lot of
Oh,
money.
the possum.
Please, please.
I mean that's really good.
Now
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
thermals across the river from the house is 100 yards or better over there. And I know by the figure of their shape of their bodies and the white outline of them. When you see a nutria or a beaver, he's going to be one place, and coons is going to be somewhere else on the side of the bank over there. And a house cat looks different, and a dog looks different, and a gait and walk. Just like a bobcat walk and a coyote trots, two different things. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Greg.
All these different things is different. You know, I don't know where they get these analogies for this stuff. I don't know where are they even looking at what I'm looking at. But you know, I think the Bigfoot thing, because that one in the back is so big and it's blocky looking.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
sure.
The big creature that comes across the left or right in the back. Then the other just keeps wanting to pixelate out ears on top of this one. Now it could be some kind of species of Bigfoot that has ears, or maybe a
Maybe.
nose or something. I
Well,
don't know that.
I say that because you have fog, and when you blow it up, it gets more. Yeah, you guys know what happens when you blow stuff up.
Digital
And,
ghost
and
trap too.
and another one that kind of convinces me more that it is a Bigfoot is what Bud said. Bud said that he went out there and he was doing was using a thermal also, Bud.
We had that one.
Same one.
Okay, he had the same one. He said when he went
Yeah.
up there, it acted like it turned its back to it, and he couldn't see it. All right, from what I've been told, okay, we all been told stuff, but when the thickest hair is on the back of a Bigfoot, and I'm sure there's other people out here that know better than I do, but when a Bigfoot turns its back, you've got more hair, and from what I understand, they've got clear ends on their hair. Flatrock would know better about that than I would. Well, thermal won't shoot through glass. I believe this hair, the clear tips, it could be hollow. I don't know. I haven't got no hair underneath no fiberglass. I mean, no microscope.
That's a good
And
thought, though.
yeah, it blocks the thermal transfer. I'm gonna say the temperature difference, and therefore Bud couldn't get as clear a shot when you had it up in front, and especially when it squared up to you, Miss Pat. It was bright, shiny. Then I could take my dogs out here and hit thermal, and they look like daggum light bulbs. Okay, I don't care what they're the back end, on front end, whatever. But there's something about their hair, I believe, that blocks the thermal images from the back, especially.
I thought the same thing about it when I first seen it. It's like
Yeah. So
we thought it
but
might have like a mane or a thicker patch of hair back there, and it wasn't really hiding behind anything. It was just turning his back to you, where maybe it would just blend in better, and it does. It definitely blends in better. Then it comes around. The eye sockets and everything being different colors. That's hard to say. I
Yeah.
never seen an animal do that.
well, and we haven't seen the whole thing, and that's okay. Yeah, I'm not trying to pull anything out of you guys, but I'm gonna go back to one more time to this. Look at the hair. Look at the hair off the
Yep.
head and down the arms and pretty much around most of its body parts. Whatever its hair is not as shiny, and I guarantee you, if she was fully covered on her face and her midsection, you probably would have never seen this thing. Probably would have never seen it. That's what I'm saying. My opinion, especially with Bud's testimony of when it turned its back, you couldn't see it. So that tells me this is very possible a Bigfoot, a female Bigfoot.
Just go back to that picture that me and Joe's in and see how bright we are compared to that one you just showed. Yeah, that one there. See how bright we are.
Now, Bud's in short
Yeah,
sleeve.
that there's what people look like, and yeah. And then that last picture, I mean, you see how dim it is. It could be the hair
Yeah,
covering
but
like
you
this.
could and correlate it to that thermal you caught over here, Bud. It's almost the same thing.
That's very true.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's very true. If you'll
good
look,
point, Flat, right?
yeah, that's a very, very good, that's a very good point, because yours,
Yeah, I never thought of that.
we made out stuff on it. And on this one, on the one picture, yours also, the one you have, it also looks like it has the lion's mane, doesn't it? And on this one here, it has like the mane as well. You follow me? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say, or?
No,
I mean,
I was talking about how it wasn't lit up bright.
Right. Yeah.
That's basically what I was talking about.
Right. Well, it's the hair. It's the hair and everything. If you look at even the fingers, the fingers on that one picture, you can see them.
Is that
You can
thing
see the
blocky
hair.
enough, Icebox, to you to be a Bigfoot though? Does
Is
it
it
look
what?
blocky as a Bigfoot would look to you?
Blocky?
Scale wise, does it look blocky in your mind? If you've seen better than I ever seen one by a long shot, is it look? It has the face looks like it's more. Now, they ain't all made the same. I've got to but to see the pictures that we do see, that whether you believe them or not, I just wonder if it looks blocky this way.
Okay.
No,
Okay. I know what you're talking about. Right.
the face looks more like it's this way on that particular on that one that turns around. It's more of a V, kind of a V-shaped jawline
Mm-hmm.
than a like mine is square like this.
Yeah,
Jawline.
it's more like mine. Mine kind of more comes to a point.
Right. I just wonder if you could tell something by thinking of that.
All right, let me voice up.
Being no deck like me, and big head like me, sticking on. But
Yeah.
it might be a female gender. It's different than a male gender too. I don't know.
Well, we all know that any kind of a dog, cat, any other kind of animal, there's going to be something different, out of it. So each species is going to be something different. I'm going to put it to you like this, Joe. When I first saw my first Bigfoot, okay, and what it done, let's see if I could imitate it. Probably better this way. But I seen its jaw line right here when it first turned the corner, okay? And it had the jaw line of Patrick Ewing. If you've ever seen the side profile of Patrick Ewing, his jaw protrudes a little bit more. It's more protruding.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I ain't saying it's out there like a muzzle. Yeah, it's more elongated, okay? But that's the impression that I've got. So if you look at this one, you kind of see that it may also have that same feature, only of a female face, okay? So, yeah, I can see what you're talking about, blocky, but I feel like with the hair that comes over, if it has a protruding, more or less jaw, they're not flat-faced, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for everything that I've seen so far, common sense and reasoning wise, it still leads me back to a Bigfoot.
But it is. And, I mean, still not a human. That's the first thing of all is keeping it out of we caught something different than a human,
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question.
It has a big head.
It does.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Now, do y'all want to know what Greg thinks about it? Greg House?
No.
No, we already know. Greg's seen the film. Greg has seen it.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah. He looked at it, but he had a chance to see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
I was just going to offer Greg if he wanted to come on, and if he wants to come on and voice his opinion, I'll send the link, or I'll put the link on there, and he can come on if he wants to. It's all I'm doing. That's up to you, Greg. We're not gonna put him on a spot or nothing. But if he would like to come
why
on,
not?
I would. I'll put him on.
He said something in chat a while ago. You posted. I just didn't get a chance to read it.
Yeah, it was good.
Come on, Greg.
Come on, Greg.
That's up to Greg. Greg, don't want to press you too much, but if you want to come on, I'll be glad to put the link in there and let you come on. That's no problem. I've been actually wanting to get Greg on the show. I really have.
Oh, that's fine.
I just haven't worked up the nerve to ask him.
We'll go to bed and you can have him tonight.
He's a great guy.
I know he is.
We've talked to Greg a lot about this. We've discussed this with Greg.
Mm-hmm.
He'd seen the film. He was one of the first to see it.
Well, if I get the nerve, I'll ask him to come on the show. To me,
that's what I got on by your little caption. She was having hell getting on it on her tablet, so I just clicked on your link at the top of the show and it come right to it.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and put it up there in case he decides he will. He might be gone by now.
You look at it.
There you go.
You'll continue to look at it. Tommy, you continue to look at this thing and try to see what the size difference is. Slow it down when you get a chance when you ain't doing nothing, and look at these things. It's so good, but it's so far away from being great too. I mean, you can't see things. You can't. I know it's pixelated bad when you start doing digital. Anything you go past the original, it's a 2.5. No, it's 2.0. Well, the next one is 4. That's the first time digital zoom starts, and after that, 8, and 16, you might well throw that out the door. You ain't gonna see nothing but
That's right.
but a growing amoeba out there doing this crap. You know,
Yeah.
you're
You
never
about
gonna
have
see anything.
you about have to take it on face value to
Right.
make any sense of it.
You can't use those things yet in the type we got now. They probably got some that's got stabilizers in them now that we don't have, but it's still a catch as long as it ain't a human. I mean, a lot of other people said that, and I just going by what you see flickering up every now and then on that deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the babies and stuff on there that other people see either, but I'm not saying they're not there. I just know that
Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
That's
Let's
right.
put it that way. You know, and that's why I wanted you guys to come on
Exactly.
here to explain it.
Exactly. But what people don't know is I'm not done with the film. I'm far from done with it. Which I've kind of kept this private, and I'll keep it private. Y'all, I'm tied up with Misty. Okay.
Nope, that's perfect. But
Yeah.
Greg, I really would like to get you on the show sometime. Maybe I'll get with these guys. Maybe they can set it up. I don't know. He might not want to come on my show. Who knows?
we might have you on his show
Yeah.
before it's
Yeah.
over with.
Oh man, that's big time stuff. I'm not qualified.
Sure.
Well, you might be.
But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to divulge a lot of it, but there's something in the works that there's gonna be an investigation on
Mhm.
it to try and take it further coming up, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Mhm.
It's like I said, folks, if you catch something like this, it's really hard to try and find the help or people knowledgeable in order to know what to do with it or anything, even stabilizing, even the littlest thing. That's not 100% human. No, it's not. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you very much.
But it's but we're working on some other stuff that and the results I'll bring forth later as
Okay.
soon as it comes through. Is I'm working on some things now. I'm not done with this film. It needs to be looked at. I want somebody to look at it that knows what they're doing. It's trying to
Yeah.
find these people, this doctor, this one, and doctor that one. You know, they're too busy. They're tied up in conferences and doing all of that. They don't have or going on shows or podcasts. They don't have time to look at your stuff. You know, I want somebody that knows what they're doing and willing to look at it and give an honest opinion and a scientific opinion. That's
Mhm.
what's important. Is
Hmm.
I
tear it
think we can help
apart,
you with it
look at it.
regardless. I mean,
What
whether it's
is it?
some kind of cryptid, they don't know enough about the subject not to take it and try to do something with it, no matter what it is. I mean,
Well,
cryptid subject in general, they don't know enough about it. The more we know at this point that anybody lets us know, that I think there should be somebody looking at it and trying to go through it,
That's
frame
what
by
we
frame
want.
and stuff.
That's what we
what?
want. We don't take any of this personal.
No.
Don't make it
But
personal. It's not about that. It's about the subject. It's about what we captured. It's
That's
about
right.
the evidence.
That's
That's
right.
Well,
what's important. And
I
to
would
learn
not.
from it.
I would not run it through. And I'm sorry. I'm sure they're great entertainers and they're very smart people. Okay,
Right.
but I would not run this through, say, Jeff Meldrum,
No, no,
Cliff Brockmans, and all the big names, because their
no.
name is out there and what they say to some people matters. To me, it don't matter. Okay, what matters to me is people like Flatrock, Bud, Joe and Pat and Angie, uh, Old Bear, Richard, Greg Houses, those people of the world. That's what matters to me because they're the ones that's got more in touch with what's going on for real, and they're not getting paid. They're not having to worry about. Now, you're scientific. That'll be a different story, but I don't want
they don't look
somebody.
at it that way though.
I
They get
wanted an
money.
independent.
But it's somebody, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm having it looked at. I'm not done with it. I don't
Sure.
think I'm ever going to be done with it. My
Mm-mm.
children don't want it. They don't. they're not interested. Yeah,
Elaine,
they
you
believe
will?
in it, but who we gonna pass it down to?
So far,
Like I
knock on
said.
wood, nobody showed up and cut off our old folks' home checks or nothing yet. But that was told to us in the most frightening way. Like this, I said, man, I don't want to do nothing with you. If they watching you that close, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. And you
Right.
know, ain't nothing out here people don't already know. If it was too good, it would be a threat to us. If it's too bad, nobody believes in none of it. It's right in the middle somewhere, and it's okay enough, but it ain't okay enough to come hassle us over it. So that's okay.
Yeah,
So
you
Right.
put
they know
out.
the end of times is coming. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, you put out audio. It's a Bluetooth speaker out in the woods.
Right, right,
Uh,
exactly.
I've
I
already
mean,
got a.
people's got ridiculous answers for everything, and they would have had to. We dealt with people just this last week, and it was like I said, don't be hurt about it. That's what they do. They don't even look at the thing with open, objective mind. They just there to bash to be
Oh,
bashed.
Mhm.
yeah.
Thank you.
That's all they're doing is bashing. You could have brought up the subject of anything, just anything you want to, and somebody would be, on the other side of it. Don't make a damn what it is.
That's
I'm very
fine.
fortunate. Most of my people that watch the show are great people, and when I say great, they're not negative, and they don't come
Right.
at my guests. I've had that happen once or twice, and I had to give them a good flogging. Let's put it that way,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I don't believe in that. Even
No,
if I don't believe what they're saying or I don't believe their opinion,
sure.
I don't flog them for it, and I don't try to be negative. I never have, and I don't want to be. It's just
They just
the way
don't
I
know
am.
how silly they really sound when they talk that kind of stuff.
Well, I look at it like this, Flat Rock. They're city people that have never been out in the woods. There are some people that's been out in the woods, but they've never. Well, just like Angie, she didn't know anything about this till she
Mhm.
met Bud, and she gets in there, and next thing you know, she because she loves Bud, she wants to do things with him. What happens? She ends up seeing one. So now to her, there is no doubt. And unless people
No,
get out there and check this out for themselves, you can't make them believe for nothing. And I wouldn't try. I wouldn't even try.
that was a great catch that Angie caught. And
Hmm.
she gave an immediate description. And that's something I
That
learned.
was a good seal for her too. I mean, for
Yes.
her to. We had one lady come to our trailer when we was in Alabama, and she left there crying because she'd been badgered about what she had seen, and we made one person just seen this thing all the way through, had her sitting in our trailer, and we give them some closure. That people don't
Yes.
realize when you bashing people, you don't know how people's going to take that. When
Right.
you're trying to help people, you don't know how they're going to take it that way either. But we did help somebody along the way. So,
Yes, you did.
I mean, what else can you ask for?
We helped more than one. I've got messages, I've got several messages and personal that it was validation for what
Hmm.
they saw because they were ridiculed for it.
I
And
know.
that was more important to me than anything. And the people and our friendship and going out. Thank goodness Bud was with us. How I would have
Hmm.
loved to Angie have been with us, to Jody had been in the truck and been with us. And we had that experience all together.
Mm-hmm.
That creates a bond and to me, that's more important than what we caught.
Yep. I
A lot
agree.
more important. Though they can tell you, the three of you, the two of them sitting here can tell you, is all I kept saying that night. I wanted to see a little person, and that's all I
Yeah.
wanted to see. A bunch.
Oh, you're like my wife. She wants to see a little one.
Yeah,
You can't
I
pick and
want to see a
choose
little
now.
person.
You can't pick and
That's
choose
all I
that.
kept saying. I want to see
There was one there. You just wouldn't. You was at least one there. That's all I could.
they said LPL, it's supposed to have little people in it. I wanted to see some little people. And
I believe that.
that's what I was out to try and see. I kept saying it over and over. But also what I do want to say, like I said, um, and to make this known to the public as well, is on March 14th, there was a full moon. And
Hmm.
also there was a lunar eclipse
Well,
as
lunar
well.
eclipse. Yep.
And I do want to put that out there because it's worth noting.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
which I find that kind of interesting.
Well, I put on a show the other day. Was it being Flatrock and Old Bear? My first question, just to get the ball rolling, was have more sightings been seen on cloudy days versus sunny days? And it was just thrown out there, and of course, the discussion began. And there's a
Right.
reason why I brought it up. Is it or is it not? When's the best chance? If you watch a lot of my shows, it's more or less trying to help somebody if they want to actually go see a Bigfoot, find a Bigfoot. I'm trying to educate them just as well as myself.
Well,
That's
I'm
all I'm
going to
doing.
help. I'm going to help the people in the future,
Mm-hmm.
the folks in the future that experience this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm getting up in years as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Me
have
too.
anyone I can pass it off to,
Nope.
but the thing is maybe I can help um, show the way,
Yeah.
and they would have somewhere to turn to. Let me help find the way to somewhere to go when you experience something like this. Who can you take it to? And those kind of things.
Yep.
Instead of like us, it took us a while to get it out. Of course, we wanted to verify things, yes, and we wanted to hash out things, but we had a hard time taking it to anybody because people didn't know what to do with it, or it wasn't theirs and they weren't interested in it, is exactly what we experienced. And
Yep.
I want to set it up where in the future people have somewhere to take it to. Who are these folks that we can take it to? Who can we pass this down? Because we have we have generations coming up behind us
Oh yeah.
that have to be able to take this somewhere.
Yep. And
But
see,
you
and that's
never
why
know.
that's why I actually got somebody next generation down. My friend
Exactly.
Tyler, he comes over here a lot, does his thing, and he knows that once I'm gone off this earth, he gets all my hard drives with all that footage on it. That
Mm-hmm.
he can go back in and re-listen to them, date them, whatever. So it can be passed down. Uh,
Right. And
as
But
somewhere
for
to
you,
what
take it to.
as for what Miss Pat said, about helping others, that's the only
mm-hmm.
reason I share, so other families like mine who moved onto a piece of property and ended up seeing these creatures. Maybe that little bit of audio and what Miss Pat and all them filmed and what Bud shared all through the years, what great
Yep.
Yes.
stories has been, and all these other people putting out their evidence can help them. Just that one person,
Mm-hmm.
or that one family. That's why we share. We don't share to go on podcasts, to go on
No.
stage at a
I care less.
conference, want money to be paid to us. No, we do it because we want other people to know what's out there that don't know that's out there, that what is out there.
Right.
That's what
Yep.
it's
Because
all about.
we send our
I,
children camping. We send
Mhm.
our we send them out into the woods,
Yep.
and we all have a right to know what's out there.
right.
All of us.
Out there too, people died in vain. No matter if anything happened, like I said, happened. Them people died in vain. They were hidden. They were lied about. More people were set to come out and die right behind them, and that's on that place with the lower of that place. They deserve better than that.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves better than that. As far as it ain't no damn government institution wood or anything else where people for us to go out there and just die without no kind of protection, no kind of nothing. They didn't sweep it up under the table. Uh,
People are coming up missing,
we don't even know how many people's lost
and
because it's so the world's so corrupt with all that stuff. We might help somebody. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody turn around and go home early.
One
Yep.
person, one family, don't matter. If it can help them, there it is.
hey,
Uh,
exactly. And
Larry
what about
Howard,
the
we
people?
appreciate that, bud. Sorry.
And what about the people that like Flatrock that they live on their property? You know,
This
what
one-
about those people? There's more than just Flatrock that this happens with.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
And Bud experienced it when he was young
Mm-hmm.
like
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
And he's
Up
still
there.
going, from what I understand about Bud, if I go hunting for Bigfoot, I want Bud and Boo. Because when Boo asks,
Yeah.
Bud's
Pretty
gone,
good
he's going after
combination.
him, I'm going to say, okay, if it gets Bud, I'm out of here.
Well, that's
well,
true.
you know, you may not have enough food to feed Boo and Bud either, as far as that goes, but good combination. But we talk about everything, but it ain't just Flatrock. Like I was telling you the other night, it ain't just Flatrock on this place. His mama's got a story. His brother's got a
Yeah.
story. His Mr. Bobby up front's got a story. Mr. Brother up front may have a story. The other guy may have a story. In his compound, it ain't no telling, what kind of something goes on, and they all hear stuff, and they just don't. His mama didn't want to go on for the longest he did with us, thank goodness, and we got it on tape. But
Yep.
it's not just Flatrock on his place.
No.
The whole bunch of them has stuff happening. If you have questions about it just being a one and done or whatever about it, well, you need to listen to all of them because it's more to his story there in that place.
Yeah,
You
I
everybody
know.
here,
probably.
everybody
Before
here
you
has
got
seen
there, your
one.
mama was having hell with that place.
Yeah,
Mhm.
everybody here has seen one except my oldest brother Jerry, because he just moved here, here recently. So he's the only one who ain't seen one. But
You
everybody
might
else
give
has.
Flatrock hell.
Everybody.
People do, but give you hell, Flatrock. But they don't know all the stories everybody else go along with yours.
No.
They don't understand all that shit when they're on up there.
It's
Right.
on
When
my.
we first got there, you was thinking it'd be a horror movie went on up there. I ain't kidding you. They had bombed out trailers and bombed out boats, and they come out of 2 or 3 hurricanes and pull it off up there. It was something else.
Yeah. And
It's a lot better now, ain't it, Flat Rock, than it was when you first moved up there.
Oh yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And what's great is even beside all of this is the friendships we made along the way.
Yeah. Can you imagine how many people I have met and made friends with since me just doing this podcast and stuff?
Sure.
I've got Flat Rock, you guys, Bud and Angie. The list is just out there, and I appreciate everyone. As a matter of fact, I've gotten a little gain in subscribers, and they don't know how much I appreciate them. They really don't, and you can't really tell them how much you appreciate it. And I'm proud that they get to come and see us. But my bucket list, I want to go to Flat Rocks.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
serious.
welcome to
I'm hoping I get to retire here in the next 3 or 4 years and move back to Bama. And one of my bucket lists is to go down there and see Flat Rocks play.
Yep.
Now, should I tell them anything, Flat Rocks, about what we're working on?
Well, these guys already heard it. It's on here with me. They done heard what you're gonna play.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about next year on the campouts.
I done forgot. Oh, at
All right.
Saltport. At Saltport?
Yeah,
Talk about Saltport?
yeah,
Oh.
I'm gonna try that damn show get there.
yeah. We're
And
going
the
to try.
South y'all gonna be at?
Mhm.
You
Yes,
told us about it yesterday.
Yep.
But Bud was there today, wasn't you? Or was you at the other one?
No.
Well, we're hoping.
what is
Bud
that,
gets to
Hocking
come.
Hills?
I think he said it.
Hocking
you-
Hills, okay.
Talk about flying me out there. I ain't getting on no plane.
Yes, you
I
are.
drive out there.
Hell, tell
Yeah.
him to get my Uber driver to come get you.
Yep. I told him we'd fly him out here. Yes, sir. We're flying another speaker for the October one.
Yep.
Bud's hoping that he gets to come in October. I'm not going to hold him to it, but I hope to get to meet him in person. And however long he gets to stay with us, I sure be proud of it myself. But speaking of, all right, Flat Rock, I've been waiting to do this. I've been patient, but my patience has run out. I've got to play this recording from Flat Rock. It is it's mind blowing. Let me see if I can do this, Flat Rock, because I had it earlier. Okay, so let me see if this is going to happen.
You want me to set it up first?
You sure can. Let me see if I can get it first. Okay.
All right.
All right, there it is. I can get it. I've got it.
All right, you ready?
Just about. Let me pause it right there. All right, go ahead.
What was going on, Miss Pat, Joe, Bud? You already know. I had taken my dog out for the last time at this night, and he was going to relieve himself. I'm standing outside, and next thing you know, I start hearing this heavy breathing going on, and that's what I'm thinking it is, the heavy breathing of one close by. And next thing you know, it sounds like he's growling at me, and in the background, you can hear like a howl, but it ain't a coyote howl. But that's when Boo hears it, and he comes running toward me, and he gets to barking at it, and eventually Boo gets it to back out and back on up out back into the woods somewhat.
All right. Now, guys, it's going to be about a minute and a half. If you listen very closely, you'll hear it breathing. But just stay with it, and you're going to hear something that's pretty amazing. Here we go.
Yeah, Boo, he peeked that thing out now.
Yes, he
He
did.
peeked it out.
Wow.
'Cause he was right there beside that parabolic, and he peeked that thing out.
It was ringing that bell, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was.
Ooh, wait.
Did it answer him back? Did I hear it hollering back at him?
Well, it was still doing what it was doing,
Mm.
but it was backing out. as Boo was barking at it, them last 3 or 4 times he was barking at it, it was backing out. Yeah,
Well, I heard
What
it
side of the
bastard.
house is on? Flat Rock?
huh?
Was it in there behind the bucket or was it on the other
Yeah, it was
side?
back there behind the bucket.
I could have thought I heard it kind of holler back at Boo. You
Yeah.
know, it probably about the 7th or 8th time that it was barking at it. That's what I heard. But man, you hear it breathing loud and clear,
Yeah.
and it sounded like it answered to me.
Yeah, Boo sounded worse than the booger did.
Yes, vicious, vicious.
I mean, I'm eventually gonna post that on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
The raw version of it. But his barking, you can straight out just hear his barking. It won't blow it out like that, but
Right.
but yeah, it's a really good audio. It's actually a 4-minute audio, but yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Paramedic wants to know about how far off was it? Do you think it was from you?
It was between 50 and 70 yards away from us. Got that perfect shot looking right at us.
Amazing how you could. What you don't know is Flatrock got his own parabolic mic or parabolic. Sorry guys, I'm from the South. Parabolic mic that it's homemade, ain't it?
Homemade, yep.
Yep, and it does a great job. All right, well guys, it's been a great show. We've been on here.
Yes. Thank you for the show.
No. I want to thank Bud and Angie. I've always wanted to meet him and talk to him, and I was not disappointed. Angie was great. Bud, you've been great. I know you ain't got to say a whole lot here at the end, but you were fantastic.
Well, I got this delay, so I'm afraid of saying too much and interrupting somebody. So I've just been pretty much listening. So this delay's messing me up.
Yeah, I understand. Right? Yeah, I wish you jumped in just a little bit more if you could have, but I understand, and I do appreciate it.
Like I said, I was afraid of cutting somebody off. So.
Not a problem here. I've been cut off many a times.
I'm worse. The world's worse to cut people off.
Yeah, I'm a truck driver, man. I get cut off every day.
Well, you drive trucks too?
Yes, sir. Sure do. I deliver equipment.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Joe and Pat,
It's a pleasure.
no, y'all just don't know how much I appreciate it. Neither one of y'all do. Flatrock knows, man, I appreciate him so much. He's the only one I give a t-shirt to. Let's put it that way.
That'll work.
Yep.
Yep.
Works. It's a
We
good
want to
flag.
say Flat Rock too. We wouldn't have as much fun as you could check. I mean, we don't go to Flat Rock. We ain't planned on at least a day or two just spending time with him, go to eat, and if we have the time and do more, whatever. It's more to it than just going out there listening for boogers when we get there. We like to be together with our friends and
I know.
his family.
Shrimp and grits.
They're willing to come. We willing to have.
Right.
Oh, I don't call Flatrock unless I plan on 2 hours. No, because that's the kind of conversations we get into. And I know Flatrock does more, but I can't. No, I want to hear Flatrock. I love talking to Flatrock, and Flatrock, you know what that means to me. You know you do. But anyways, guys, we're gonna get out of here. I was gonna end it on that. No, thank y'all. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate it. But tell Angie I said I appreciate it, and I enjoyed meeting her. Flatrock, I'll give you a call here pretty soon. But for now, guys, that's going to be it for tonight, and we will get out of here. And y'all come back, sis. It'll be another 2 weeks before I come back on. I've got some football stuff I got to do next weekend. So hopefully we'll see everybody again. And roll Tide, right?
Roll
Flatrock.
Tide.
Watch it.
Flatrock, hit me up on Facebook.
Yep, there you go, Flatrock. You heard him.
Tell them about them Buckeyes, bud.
There ain't no Buckeyes.
Go on now.
Buckeye
Go on.
industry. Man, they don't know how to play football.
Wait.
Tell them, bud. Buckeyes. Really, he's closer to the Mountaineers of West Virginia than he is Buckeyes, probably.
As long as I don't hear LSU, we're all right.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
guys.
much. Thank everybody in the chat.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. Guys, y'all have a good night. We'll see
Talk
y'all
to you
here.
later, guys.
Yep, 2 weeks.
Yo,
See y'all later.
guys. Roll Tide. Yo, yo, yo.
Last word right there. Roll
I
Tide.
thought you
You
Roll
were
Tide.
Auburn man. What the
just
hell
have
you
to
talking
have
about? You
no.
supposed to be
Roll
Don't do
Tide.
that Auburn stuff now. That's
Roll
You the
fighting
Tide.
Auburn
words,
man.
Joe.
War Eagle.
That's fighting words.
War Eagle.
I think I go back and bleep that off the show.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to just cut us off. Is how it
All
works
right,
with this
that's it.
one.
I'm done. Roll
But
Tide.
that's
We're out
fine.
here.
Love y'all
Bye, guys.
guys.
Appreciate
We'll
y'all.
see y'all soon.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yes.